Oh boy. All right. I don't even know how to even start this, but hey,
Didn't really think this one through.
Started it before.
I just wanted to. Yeah.
We're like, let's get together and talk about things.
Let's talk about the past.
Welcome to the most retro episode of Talking Skritt you'll ever see.
Yeah. It even went. Royby represents even the before times of like the video podcast since he's audio only.
Yeah, audio only.
Yep. There we go.
Put a big moving on banner over Royby's.
Oh God.
Well, actually, this perfectly leads in. We've asked people for questions on our Twitter, and one of the things was what inspired Talking Skritt, which I think is a nice way to kind of start generalizing with how everything started and getting everybody's opinions on it. And we are all kind of drinking. So.
Shout out to AFK Queen for asking the most pertinent question.
Yes, and honestly, I'm probably going to actually be doing some editing on this one. I know.
No.
I hope so.
Scared me. Genuine jump scare.
No, honestly, all that stuff is probably going to be the intro because that's probably better and represents Talking Skritt the best way possible.
We are, like, legitimately, we are Skritt. Like, the original...
No, that's the first thing everybody has to understand is we all are Skritt. We collect shit.
Yeah.
To be fair, I still don't have that jump title done. I have one.
That was the first thing I did in the game as soon as I saw that.
God. There's one item that I don't have, and I can't be bothered.
And the funny story about that was the one item I couldn't get, I went out on a group with to get, and everybody got it that night except me.
Yeah, that was the Grawl Claw.
The Grawl thing.
Oh my God, I delete those on a regular basis. Holy crap, I remember when you were trying to get that thing.
Yep.
It took him a long time.
But actually, the one thing I think I forgot was, in case people aren't aware of who each person is. I mean, we have Jim Malthanis, who is still, on the show on a regular basis.
Can't get rid of me. I'm like a fungus.
Lol.
Oh, fungus, really?
And we have Aaron at Guild Wars Monk on Twitter and all that. But
I left because of a girl.
this feels like behind the music on VH1, and then Aaron found love and everything.
Is she still there?
No, she's not.
Oh,
okay. So can we call her the Yoko Ono of Talking Skritt?
Yes, you can.
And she was even on an episode.
She was on a pre-show. She wasn't on a full episode. She was on a pre-show.
He's like, that's important to note.
I did do an episode from her place, though.
Yes, I remember that because you were sitting on her bed. Because I remember the corner.
It's a studio apartment. She literally did not own it. All right. You have to understand the situation.
I'm not going to knock anyone for not owning things.
Dude, I'll tell you the story about
It's
me
not
and
an owner's
our
economy.
20 friends that lived in a studio when we first started going out.
Well, and that person is Royby62 on Twitter, and
Hello.
But yeah, he left as well. He left us.
He's the old man of the group.
That and
the sage advice.
I found a much better game to play.
Yeah, we lost him to the far reaches of space.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. I remember what drove Royby out of the game. The Shadow of the Dragon fight.
Oh, God.
In Living World Season 2.
Absolutely true. Absolutely
true. Wasn't it the what was the one before that where you're in Glint's thing where it builds upon itself, and Royby was like, this is BS, all these mechanics.
Oh no, he made it to Shadow of the he made it to the very last fight with the
I just remember him going, I hated it. We were all like, that was kind of a fun fight. And he was like,
the fuse was lit with the Skritt in the hall collecting the paper wrappers for Halloween that you had to buy.
Oh, that.
Not for any other reason than to be put into a fucking lottery.
And now there are 2K gem mounts on the store. See that?
And if you haven't noticed, we've all been drinking, and yeah, this is probably going to be how this is. Basically,
a giant tangent.
Yeah.
If we ran ads, we would be demonetized on this video.
Just for lack of vision, right?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. If we ran ads, we actually used to, which kind of goes back to the whole, how I was talking.
Where did the $5 go? Damn it!
Look, I can. Honestly, at that point, I just gave it. I was like, I'm not even gonna try to chase. It wasn't even $5. It might have been $1.
Wasn't
I'm
worth
like,
his time.
laughing tonight. This is so fun.
Do you guys remember the first group GBN meeting about doing shows, and the first thing everyone else asked was, "So what are we going to do with the money?"
Okay, so
What are we going to do with the cash?
Wait. Before we even get into what caused Talking Skritt, we have to talk about Game Breaker Nation.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's a good point. How did you guys first find
so wait, to put this into
Game
perspective,
Breaker Nation?
This is all shooting off of the question: what inspired us to start Talking Skritt?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that'll be a good moment for me to put in that little blip from AFK Queen asking what inspired Talking Skritt. So
This is the marquee question.
That. Yes.
Yeah.
What inspired Talking Skritt?
And then
So
we're
we
like,
have
well, to tell that story, we're gonna have to go.
Then there was the nation.
Oh, we have to go back.
Oh my God, he has a pipe.
He has a pipe.
We have to go back several years. Oh, the good old days.
Okay, how come you've never pulled that out during the actual show?
I won't lie. I did buy this. This is like a cheap Halloween one, but for something at Talking Skritt, for like an intro, and it never came. I don't think I did it, and I just always had it in my desk, and that's why I was like,
just
when you
always
guys were
sitting
talking about that, I was like, I have something.
The perfect meme. You were just saving it for the perfect meme.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, a long time ago there was a website called GameBreaker.tv. Don't go to it. It goes to a Facebook page that is deleted.
But weirdly enough, we found out during this actually recent after show that you can still go to Game Breaker Nation.
GameBreakerNation.com is now a gaming news site that hasn't had a post since February of 2017.
Oh, okay. I thought someone said it was still up, but I guess for that reason.
So GameBreaker TV was supposed to be a gaming news site. And then the Game Breaker Nation was the large community behind it that was supposed to be all like guilds and everything. And originally, our guild, the Talking Skritt Guild, Knights of the Doliac, was the Game Breaker Nation inside Guild Wars 2. That is a whole nother story. And if people want to know about the trials and tribulations of changing the guild name, feel free to ask in the comments. A long time ago in Game Breaker Nation, there were
far away.
in a land far, far away. Cue the fanfare and the text scroll, a la Star Wars. We had
I'm not
town
doing
hall
that,
meetings.
by the way.
Yeah, no, Dave's not going to do that.
It's a lot of work, a lot of effort.
We had town hall meetings to be like, what do y'all want from GBN? And people wanted shows, and there was a Guild Wars 2 show, and then it disappeared. This is
It was
before my
shelved
time.
indefinitely.
Yeah, I'm assuming there was a conflict of personalities. That's what I got out of it. I wasn't.
I
here for
heard
the
stuff like
explosion.
that later on, but yeah, and I think it was just for them numbers were dwindling, and it was honestly I don't know. We never heard that side of the story because those were Game Breaker shows specifically, whereas he always wanted it to be, these are by the community for the community. So
He being the gentleman who owned Game Breaker. I don't want to name names. I don't know if we want to do that in an official recording.
Talking
I
Skritt
mean,
against the world.
people could probably easily figure it out, but
I'm trying to be polite.
I'm not gonna be. I'm so gonna be bashing Ixter when we get to that part.
Oh,
Name drop.
you know he watches the shows sometimes, right?
Dave's just like,
We'll watch this one.
take that name. Don't watch this. It's like in
No, I said watch this one.
Ixter, don't watch this.
No, watch it. Go ahead. We'll timestamp it. No,
So-
I'm not gonna do that. Screw that.
Dave's going
Since
to war.
I've been carrying the banner here. There was the community wanted a Guild Wars 2 show back. So the lead community manager, a gentleman with the name of Ixter, was like, hey, Guild Wars 2 Guild, any of y'all want to do a podcast? And then me and Deo and Aaron and Royby, like the idiots we are, said, yeah, sure, we'll do a podcast.
How hard can it be? Yes.
Yeah, it can't be that hard.
I would say, to be fair, at the time it was Justin that was the.
All right, Justin. Yeah, he's still.
He
streams,
still
I
streams. He
think?
streamed recently, but yeah, I still pop in every once in a while.
Fraycore. Fraycore. He's a pretty cool dude.
Yeah.
Give him a follow if you want on Twitch.
Did not know that.
But
Yeah,
not Ixter.
well, now you know.
Nice.
But So we started, and I had almost like I was the newbie. Like that was my voice because I had suddenly become an officer in the guild because of my previous experience running a guild in World of Warcraft. So I was just like, sure.
Actually talked in voice chat too.
Yeah, and I spoke. I did the words thing because I can't shut up half the time.
Yeah, I'll notice anything.
I really like how you then shut up right after it.
Well, see, the problem is there's alcohol involved now, so.
Just like I wish I would have hit the record button earlier. I wish I would hit the record button earlier because it was just great as we were setting things up, and as people were consuming their beverages too, like a little too early.
Would y'all believe that there was an hour of setup to this? We were supposed to. It was currently 7:14.
We only started the button because it had a start. How did Guild work? How did Talking Skritt have? It had a start. That's all.
Yeah, no, it began.
People wanted it, so we did it, and then there was the number.
We wanted it. We were just doing it for the fun of it.
Yeah,
people wanted it. People did not want us, but they got it.
Yeah, they got us.
That was definitely a thing.
Yeah, they got us.
Let's be honest. People wanted Guildcast, and they got tinfoil and table flips.
Oh no, they got moving on.
They got moving on. Yeah, they got moving on.
But then we went to video. Everybody was like, "Well, that's a horrible name. That's suggesting people to leave the game." Which, we were like, everybody's gonna probably get that joke. Which I don't know.
Traherne.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm curious if people would have got that if they would have heard "Moving On" as a Guild Wars 2 fan, because everybody knew Traherne. Everybody either loved or hated
Moving on.
Yeah. And look, then I wouldn't have had to do ridiculous segues. It would have just been moving on each time.
But Traherne also died later, and then it would just be like, well,
to be fair, he hadn't died when we started the podcast.
He had not. No, that's true.
We started what?
2014, I want to say.
I'll say right. I think right when they were announcing right when they were announcing Heart of Thorns was, I think, one of the couple first videos.
Yeah, but like within the first 10, we hit the end of season 2.
Yeah.
I remember because we did commentary on the last half of season 2 episode.
Wait.
Dude, I'm looking. I'm already doing it, dude. I'm already doing it.
Deo, is your dissertation on Raza still in the Talking Skritt show notes?
It probably is. I don't delete the crap out of there.
Oh my god, it is. And the post-mortems are still here?
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Is there still something in there like plug GBN?
There's mentions about Mumble.
Wow.
Oh, dude, Mumble.
That's really Yep.
And
November 15th, 2014. So we're almost 4 years to the day, y'all.
Well, Deo, your mind, or not Deo, Royby, your mind blown GIF is still at the head of the. Deo, if you can edit that in.
I'll try to, making no promises.
Yeah.
I will try to as I'm drinking.
If he can't, he's just gonna put in "I couldn't" right there.
But just every time he says like, "Hey, can you put that in there?" I'll be like, "No."
Nope.
But there was like the whole thing of what caused Talking Skritt was a GBN, which was Game Breaker, and Game Breaker was a thing, and then Game Breaker Nation was a thing, and then the Game Breaker Nation people were like, "Hey, we miss Guild Wars 2 talk shows," and then they got us.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
It's been going on ever since.
Shockingly.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it kind of stemmed from. I guess here's my story of how I got into GBN and stuff was watching Game Breaker shows. And they were like, "Oh, we're starting a Game Breaker Nation community, group of bunch of different guilds of different games." And I was like, you know what? I have somewhat experience in leading guilds, and I was like, all right, I'll throw my hat in. Was interviewed with Missy. And
wow, that's a name I haven't heard in forever.
Yeah.
All these classic GBNers.
Yeah. And yeah, I was basically an officer. I basically was like, oh, I want to do event planning and stuff, but I didn't have a computer to stream well enough to stream. So they were like, well, be an officer and you can help with the event planning stuff, but because they wanted officers, event planners, and all that stuff. And then eventually I, along the lines, became the guild leader, mostly out of everybody else leaving.
Yeah, it was like a line of succession.
One step back if you don't want to be the guild leader. Okay, yeah, Deo, you're it.
Well, and that was the thing, like other people just left the game or all that stuff, and it's like, yeah, it's
now it's me because Deo stepped back, and I just didn't step back with him.
Well, if you remember, it was me for a little while,
right?
And then I was like, guys, I'm not playing this game.
That's fair. I appreciate that you rep the guild tag when you play, though.
I do rep the guild tag. Yeah, I do rep it.
Especially since you were the one who named the guild, basically.
Yeah. Use Dalyak runes.
Yeah, this was a point in time where Aaron used Knight's gear on his Guardian with Dalyak runes.
But I don't use the Dalyak runes.
So we are the Knights of the Dalyak.
Yeah. Yeah, it's embarrassing, but I did use Dalyak runes once.
Honestly, if you really want to screw with people in WV, run Knights and Dalyak. It's kind of, well, I can't say that after the Tuesday update. I don't know how things are going to go for there.
Yeah, because we are recording this before all that stuff, just because of time schedules. So, we could maybe later play a game of what by episode 200, which will be like basically first week of December. What are we gonna have? I can't wait for those build templates, right? You know what
people would love? You know what people would love if we spent this Talking Skritt episode 200 celebration special theory crafting balance patch builds.
Oh my God, no. No.
I think it would be better if everybody just bought a bunch of Dalyak runes and
let me posit a theory. I think that Pistol Scrapper is going to become meta.
Who's going to become meta?
Pistol Scrapper.
My Scrapper build, baby.
Your Scrapper build could become meta.
It's coming back.
Nothing else.
I'm going to be the only one that knows how to play it, and I'm going to be in legendary tier PvP this season.
Well, I was going to say, that's the funny thing. Like, a couple times when I was playing, like, my Revenant with a Herald, like, basically doing Glint and the Great Dwarf, every once in a while during Hot, Age would be like, oh, yeah, your build's actually meta. And I'm like, basically, it kind of goes back to, that's how I became guild leader. I just did the same thing, and eventually it came back to me.
Eventually it worked.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're going to use Pistol, I'm going to go back to using my my frontline mage.
Double Dagger Elementalist is still solid, Roy.
Really?
Yeah, it's still good. I still see it in PvP. People actually channel Churning Earth.
Okay.
Guys, here's the thing. I was joking about the theory crafting.
Well, honestly, I wish I was joking that people channeled Churning Earth.
I wish you were joking that people play Ellie in PvP.
Hey,
because it's a terrible class.
Hey.
Kind of putting back around. This is why.
Put two fingers up. Put two fingers up. Hey, back off that Ellie. I will find you and gank you.
Every time I spawn into a PvP match and there's an Elementalist on my team, I just resign.
I'll say, and
that's not true because I played the Elementalist.
See, kind of looping around.
He wanted to resign. He just likes you too much.
This was the one continuing thing that, because they would give us kind of like pointer notes after when we were under the GBN flag of like what we could do to improve. Yeah, we were constantly told, "Hey, can you guys somehow keep it under 1 hour?"
Yeah.
See how this goes.
I remember we used to get reviews after. So, guys, when we first started doing this show, I don't know. It's hard to explain to people here how prevalent. It wasn't super prevalent, but there was a fan base for this website, Game Breaker, right? Like they had like a pretty legit Twitch channel and a semi-popular YouTube channel, and we were streaming to Game Breaker's Twitch channel, to Game Breaker's fan base as a Game Breaker community show when we started. And the owner of Game Breaker had a background as a professional television host, and like he was like a pro. Like they had a studio. Like it was wild, right?
And crazy professional mic equipment, all the whole 9 yards.
And then we come on like, "Hi guys, it's Talking Skritt live from my basement."
With this boom mic. Like I didn't even have the Yeti at the time. I had this goddamn boom mic.
Yeah.
I don't think I had this headset at the time.
I still have the same room that's a mess, by the way. That has not changed.
I'm not surprised by that.
One thing, I bought a green screen. I barely use it for actual streaming. It's just to cover up all the mess behind it.
Dude, I'm in the same boat. I have a different room, still a mess. Background.
Exactly.
Just so y'all know, in the pre-show, he actually explicitly did not turn his webcam on until he had his background set up.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
But I was gonna say, I guess ultimately what inspired Talking Skritt was probably
short-term relationship in the bed. That's
Well,
a big.
no. I'm just saying.
Professionalism.
I'm just saying. The bed is half clothes. All right, I kind of seeing that.
Hey, come on. Age has his bed. Well, he had his bed.
Age's bed is also like made like on the level of like a serial killer. Like, his level of cleanliness disturbs me.
I'm still saying he needs to get the framed picture.
I was gonna say, can I just say one thing? This is where my line's gonna be. Do not make fun of Age, because he does the show notes and does like the website stuff.
He does.
So I don't want to do that. So don't piss him off.
Roast me in the next episode of Talking Skritt. I'm waiting.
No, but I do love you, Age, and I appreciate you.
We do.
I appreciate your impeccably made bed every stream, Age. I love it.
Well, it's not every stream now. He has a green screen. He moved into a new
Green
apartment.
screen your bed in. That's what you should do, Age. I think I suggested that to you. But anyway,
We both did, yeah.
once again, this is why Talking Skritt tends to not be under an hour.
Under an hour, lol.
Back when we started doing Talking Skritt, we would just be like, instead of like talking about Age's very neat bed, we would talk about like, guys, so do you think Abaddon's coming back in the next?
Well, to be fair, that's a poor choice. Back. That still happens.
Abaddon coming back has been a thing for all 200 episodes.
It has. Just like we bring down
okay.
the tangent.
To give you a timeline, we literally just recorded episode 197. I guarantee you Abaddon comes up in episodes 198 through 200.
Yeah, no, he's a recurring character at this point.
Abaddon is basically a recurring character of Talking Skritt.
I'm just going to say, a broken clock is right 2 times a day. I'm waiting for 12 o'clock to roll around.
Daniel, give us the next question or we'll be here all night.
Well, I was going to say, I don't feel like we kind of inspire, like, I would say what inspired Talking Skritt, I would say, is, Guildcast from Game Breaker. It kind of stemmed from a lot of people, because we even did like little guild hall meetings with the other people, and I think that's what people missed was a Guild Wars 2 podcast. So basically at that time I became the guild leader.
Yeah, I remember too.
And I kind of pulled in these guys as these guys were all officers as well. So it was basically the 4 officers / guild. I was just an officer as well, guild leader.
It's all Deo's fault. That's basically it.
Well, basically one of the things that we all forget is everybody wanted to see what we talked about during the game while we were playing, because this is what a gameplay was like every night, 3, 4, 5 hours. We would just cut up like this the whole time. Everybody's like, "You guys got to do a show."
Yep. Yeah, just rambling and lots of bullshit and just
lots of Thunder in Paradise episodes. Yeah.
And somehow Randy Savage got involved, but I don't really know where that happened.
Okay, I'm up to
somehow
speed
he's
on
like
Randy Savage, so
somehow he's like Abaddon. He comes up like he's just relevant for any conversation.
He's very purple, yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
no,
just like Abaddon.
Wait, no, toast to Randy Savage. May he rest in peace.
Mine's empty, but
I'm
Go
toast.
get another one.
I'll go get another one. All right, I'll go back, guys.
We're only the first question through.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Talking Skritt. This is what you wanted.
But honestly, and I think that, that's kind of when Game Breaker Nation kind of fell apart. We wanted to
clickbait articles here.
Yeah, they had to make money somehow, which that's how it ended up. It didn't work out. But, that's how all companies have to, we kind of talk about it constantly with gaming companies. Oh, these companies are going to this. And it's like, well, they gotta
let's not talk about profits and yeah, let's not talk about capitalism in a happy show.
Especially with Roy be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But yeah,
dirty communist.
Just to put it into perspective, every quarter we at the forums for Elite Dangerous do get the company reports and pour over them.
That sounds like Elite Dangerous.
Well, I mean, look, Elite is basically the logical progression. Elite is the logical progression of EVE Online. So,
hold on. Wait. I want to hear this. I know this is going to like toast the show.
I was going to say this.
I want to hear how this is. How the game that is an extension of EVE Online in any way, shape, or form, because you're going to get slammed if any of this goes out public.
Oh, here's the thing. I don't know. Like, as far as I'm aware, Elite Dangerous is like a hardcore space trucking simulator, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's
EVE Online is for psychos, right? EVE Online is for psychopaths.
Wait, didn't you just refer to Age as like Age? Do you like EVE Online? Do you have your bed well made?
How do you think EVE Online is for psychopaths?
The things you have to do in EVE Online.
No, you guys have until I come back from the bathroom.
People sabotage other players.
Wait. Hope. EVE Online is only as psychopathic as you want it to be. You can play that just as a straight truck driving game, never get in trouble.
The only problem is the EVE Online player base likes to take it as psychopathic as they can. I say this as a former EVE Online player.
You're right.
The devs lean into it.
They do.
It makes for really good gameplay.
Well, what was it? Okay, so I have two stories for EVE Online. I used to play EVE Online. I had a really decent corp.
Dale has lost control.
Dale always loses control. This is classic Talking Skritt. This is original 50 episodes. Dale has no control. He is just trying to suggest where the runaway horses are going.
Like how Dale comes back to the show and Jim is just talking shit.
I was gonna say, I pop in my earbud. I'm like, what the?
Just trashing him.
Sidebar on EVE.
Wait. And that there is how you play EVE.
Well, no, I was actually going to say, and that is what inspired Talking Skritt. Well, that answered your question.
EVE Online, ladies and gentlemen.
Sidebar on EVE Online. One, somebody embezzled $40,000 worth of in-game currency, and the devs were like, "Yeah, good job, dude."
Yeah, no, the devs of EVE love that crap. Like when people go to other players' houses and cut their power lines in real life, the devs are like, "Wow, isn't our game awesome?"
Well, they don't go that far. They don't encourage real world destruction.
But behind the scenes, they're like, "That's going to be a great Kotaku article."
But second story is a dude named Vile Rat was actually one of the guys killed in Benghazi, and he was actually the financial officer for one of the largest corporations at the time.
All right, first of all, pour one out for my boy Vile Rat. Nobody likes to see people die in Benghazi, but I'm going to roast him now. That is the most EVE Online ass name I've ever heard.
Is, and he was this financial officer, so like it totally fits. But the thing is, I know Deo has it in my intro for Talking Skritt. This came up on MMO Champion, like as a moderator, and in the moderator channels, somebody was like, okay, I'm in the video game forum, like it's one of the video game forums mods, which we just have a general video game forum. And they were like, yeah, somebody's saying, yeah, I'm glad this guy is dead. I'm like, is that okay? And then we're like, you're basically saying that that person is basically saying that they're okay a dude is dead because of pixels.
That's some EVE dude. That's what I'm saying. Psychos. It's for psychopaths.
Like, I'm not gonna lie.
Lunatic serial killer. Actually, like
EVE Online.
Cannibals play EVE Online.
There's a reason they call it spreadsheets in space. So
and Aaron, your name calling them because I'm leaving this in. I love you guys. Keep up the great work over there at what's their dev company? I have no idea. I've never touched it.
CCP.
But I would love to.
I can't remember what CCP actually stands for, which actually is really disappointing because they were supposed to do a White Wolf MMO at some point, the White Wolf tabletop game, but I think that got canceled. Oh well.
But I think this is kind of important to show. Like, also, this is kind of what inspired Talking Skritt, but this is also what I kind of wanted to do after Game Breaker Nation kind of collapsed, was kind of continue that idea. Unfortunately, none of the other kind of groups of it seemed like all the other guilds kind of went their separate ways. Like we had Final Fantasy XIV, ESO.
I have no idea if any of the other shows or communities still exist.
I honestly am not sure, but
the one I was more interested in was the one they did on the television shows. Who was that did that?
Oh, Zista.
Zista. Yeah.
That sounds like a Zistaism. Yeah, I think that died painfully.
I don't know. I know they were kind of going beforehand.
I like that show.
But I know that he occasionally does, but yeah, I haven't followed him that much.
Quick, next question.
While we're talking mad shit about ex-GBN people, Dale already dropped names. Fuck all those guys, dude. Fuck Zista. Fuck Kiggles.
Wow.
Right. Fuck Total Deletion.
Oh, hey, Total's a decent guy.
Fuck no, dude. Fuck all those guys.
Drink up, Aaron.
Total was a decent
Aaron,
come at me. Twitch.tv/GuildWarsMonk. Come talk some mad shit.
Aaron, I'll try to edit this early and then put it up as private. So if people want to make, I'm not technically directing this at you, but if you want to maybe be like, hey, could you remove that afterwards?
I don't know, dude. I just remember all the massive
space around it where you could and it wouldn't be noticeable.
All the drama ever in that, guys. We were in a giant guild alliance, so there was drama, right? All the drama always stemmed from the WoW people every time.
Look, I'm gonna quote the Snickers commercial and say no regrets.
I love the community, but I will admit there was a lot of drama that stemmed from the WoW community.
What was that? What was that, Roy?
I said I carry a Snicker bar wrapper in my back pocket. It says meh. M-E-H. That's it. Meh.
I'm just saying, dude. There was a lot of drama from that. Wow.
Yeah, we're 36 minutes into this. Let's go to the next question. Question number 2, by the way.
Wait, really quick. Talking Skritt started because we liked Guildcast from Gamebreaker and
wanted more of it.
And we wanted
more
of that.
People wanted it, so we as guild officers we wanted to try to support our people in the guild, so we were like, well, let's make one. And
now 2 of us are like, fuck that game.
Well, actually, I kind of have a question that I wanted to throw out there because I do have an answer for it, but is there something that is there a secret related to Talking Skritt that you maybe haven't told everybody else? Like maybe, I don't know, did you secretly hate anybody, or was there something you were thinking of doing this but then maybe didn't? Or I mean, since
I really just hate that Deo guy.
Well, I know I put my earbud in and you're trash talking me to no other.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
I have.
You can tell we hate each other.
Oh yes, we.
After 36 minutes, that question is now answered. Move on to the third one.
Yes, we totally all just loathe each other's existence.
Talking Skritt related intel. I don't really have any.
I was gonna say, for me, I know I had plans on probably leaving after episode 60, which see how well I did on that.
Yeah.
Because I think that time that was when GBN was kind of collapsing. I was like, is this a good time to just, maybe make a clean break?
Is this when we just end? Yeah, I remember the number of times that you were like, I'm not feeling it. And we're just like, Deo, we need you.
Damn.
Dude, still here I am.
Guilt tripped him into doing it.
Chained to my desk.
Okay, so real talk. I love having Deo on the show because Deo has... No, there's no but. This is a straight reason.
Everything else he said, now what the real reason is.
Deo has an uncanny ability to play devil's advocate. And I'm going to base that mostly on the psych. Yes,
no, he doesn't.
I'm going to base that mostly on the psych degree. Yes, Deo has a master's. That's a master's. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Deo has a master's in psych. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about when he talks about the way people think.
Deo could work in the government as a propagandist and do wonderful
Please
things.
Don't work as a propagandist. I don't want to hate you. For the love of God.
That was such a sincere He really meant that when he was like, Dale, please don't do this.
I don't want to hate you.
That. I really don't.
It'll depend on what you said about me while I had my earbud out. That sounds more inappropriate than it should be.
He was basically saying that the show is better when Age hosts it, and that you never really could host the show, and that he was Nixter was the producer. Again.
Okay, see, this is how the dynamic of Talking Skritt works. Deo was devil's advocate. I was the straight man. Aaron was the troublemaker, and Roy B just laughed at all of us.
Yeah,
this is original Talking Skritt.
Pretty much.
Roy was a crotchety old man going, back in my day, MMOs were different.
Back in my day, we used pens, paper, and dice.
Hey, I still use pen, paper, and dice.
Are you one of those guys that shops online for like pretty dice? And you're like,
dude, I spent. Okay, wait, no, okay. You want to pull that up? Give me half a second. I'll be right back.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, well, he does that. I was gonna say, we were kind of talking about there kind of was like a fifth to the thing when we kind of went to video, since like I said before, I wasn't really able to stream very well leading up to that stuff, but people wanted kind of video because we had audio, which I think Royby might somewhere had like the original audio files because I could not find them ever on SoundCloud.
They might
Maybe
still be
one
on
day.
SoundCloud. I don't know.
Yeah, I could not find the same in my life, but those were exceptionally bad, and there might be still some people looming around that still listen to that, but yeah, it was remarkably. I still remember episode 16. There was the infamous.
Why?
Oh God! Did I really come back for the Punisher?
Oh, was that the
Penetrator?
Was that the Saints Row Penetrator episode?
Yes.
Oh, Extra was still doing it at episode 16. I thought we were like our own thing.
Look, you want to talk about me spending a crap ton of money on dice, and I just went to PAX this year. I spent $125 on this set of dice and this case.
They're just white. They're just plain white dice.
They're not plain white dice. They're gemstones. Shut your face.
Look, dude, show them again. They're white dice.
What kind of gemstones?
I legitimately cannot remember right now.
Are they ivory?
What's $125 spent for? It could be white plastic.
Well, it was also on top of the case, which is cherry and hand carved. So,
damn, cherry with the cherry case though.
But yeah, for people that haven't, I mean, if you want to go back and watch episode 16,
hashtag not sponsored.
Feel free to. But the story behind it is there was a gem store weapons set that was coming out, and for some reason, he then decided to show the Saints Row the Third dildo bat.
Oh my God!
And we could usually see things beforehand, so we saw him setting it up. So feel free to go back, and you can see me like looking at the screen, going.
I've seen Corgi since it was a puppy. Let me see the Corgi.
I like how Deo is so annoyed about this dildo bat story that he just plowed right through the Corgi.
I waved. I'm trying to keep it somewhat on track.
I'm fairly certain. Oh, by the way, this is my wife, Quo. For friends.
The Corgi don't care.
with my Corgi Magni.
I'm trying to keep it somewhat on track.
No, there is no track here, Deo.
I know.
Deo, we ripped that up through we threw the trailer.
Well, I mean, as long as people don't feel bad, because about like I didn't want you guys to feel like, oh, I needed to go do something or keep you away from something. I mean,
here's the thing. At this point in the show, we're what, 40 minutes in?
Who
has not clicked off the video yet? Guys, put a comment in the YouTube comments if you have not yet clicked off the video. Right?
I feel like we should do that. And part of me wants to do that for Talking Skritt, but part of me also feels like I'd feel really sad about that.
Hey, Jim, I watched the whole thing with Talking Skritt. I watched until the end, buddy.
But okay, so the penetrator.
The purple dildo bat now.
The purple dildo bat, the penetrator from Saints Row. I'm pretty sure that was the Dominator weapons.
Maybe I have no idea.
The BDSM weapons, because I know Aaron was still on the
so much
chauffeur.
Of showing off a dildo bat, because we've all had our little skits of joking around and stuff. But what irritated me was he was doing that at the spur of the moment without any of our knowledge of it until we saw him actually literally grabbing the files. I don't ever want to be the type of person that does a joke at the expense of someone. Like I have the Ryan Reynolds stuff in the in the show notes. I've asked them at the very beginning, like, are you guys fine with this? And they all can always like just say like, hey, that's a little too far or whatever.
Jim loves age or Jim. I was also under the impression that you loved those jokes.
I think it's funny. I don't think I look anything like Ryan Reynolds or now Chris Pratt, because Chris Pratt movies have entered into the
that was the stemming of basically chat.
Somebody in chat said I look more like Chris Pratt than Ryan Reynolds, and I'm like, I don't think
someone else.
Like either of
and then
them,
someone else brought up another actor, and I was like, okay, now this is becoming too much work to try to fit 3 movie titles.
Yeah, I don't want Deo to have to like try and like force it, but like,
I think you look like a healthy clone of the two, like a healthy genetic clone.
I look like the test tube baby of Ryan Reynolds and Chris Pratt.
But a healthy one, not like an experiment gone wrong. Like
a healthy test tube baby of Chris Pratt and Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. Quote at Guild Wars Monk. I dig it.
But can I tell you the reasoning of why I wanted to do that kind of stuff? It was because, like I said, when we started the show, it was basically just 4 people that happened to be guild officers. We didn't have an online presence or anything like that. I was throwing things out there for people to attach to, which in reality, Jim probably being like, haha, you look like one of the sexiest men alive, like winners on People magazine, is probably an okay thing for, I mean, but that was kind of the reality of it, and it just, kind of kept it. But that, look, I was trying to give people things to kind of latch on to.
I guess
our producer was being a dick, so Deo decided to do the show his damn self. That's what happened.
Oh yeah, that's originally with episode 16. Yeah,
Are we still on a question, or are we still on the first one?
Well, I think it kind of stemmed from my question of asking like, did we have any dark secrets or
dark secrets?
But like I said, I wanted to leave at like kind of episode 60, but I kind of found another groove, and I think, like I said, luckily Age came on and kind of took off the load of like the show notes and
I will say in that vein, just kind of set the record straight. I didn't leave because I left Talking Skritt and I joined the Guild Mag podcast. Like,
he hated us
a month later.
Yes, here's the thing. Hated us.
I left Talking Skritt and did the Guild Mag podcast not because I chose one over the other, but because
you chose one over the other.
One worked for my schedule, and the other
wasn't us, so he had to choose the other one over us.
I can't complain about that. Like, I'm not gonna like.
It was a scheduling thing.
We are here because we love I am here. I am part of Talking Skritt because I love the game. And this isn't the alcohol talking. I actually enjoy. Shut your face, Roy. Shut your Goran face. I truly.
You have to qualify it. You lost.
I was gonna say.
I know this sounds like a drunk thought, but
mute this man. Mute this man.
I'm not drunk, but I love you guys.
I love you, though. I'm not drunk. I'm not saying this because I'm drunk, but I love you.
Get over here, Jim. I'll give you a hug.
Look, that's the wrong direction on my screen, but okay.
It's the right one on this one, so I actually made sure. If you noticed beforehand,
I actually met Deo in real life. He has left his stoop.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say he has legs.
He also has
a bottom half.
He exists in the physical realm. He is not in the realm of torment. He exists in the physical
This is what's really interesting to me is you both live in the same city.
Yes, we do. We probably live about 20 to 30 minutes apart from each other.
And they never met each other until...
No, we met each other, I want to say, about 4 years ago.
What?
It was about it was longer than 4 years ago.
I think he's drunk too much.
Oh, look, I think he means we never met each other prior to.
We had,
but it took a while before even you because you guys hadn't met each other yet while I was still there.
My wife and I had convinced Deo to come and hang out and go grab burgers.
I mean, Roy, stranger danger. It's a real thing, man.
Look, I'd be worried if Roy invited me to his place in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina.
Y'all are welcome anytime.
I was actually talking about this very ignorantly on my stream last night. How North Carolina, despite being the northernmost southern state, is the most southern state in the South.
No, dude, no.
Like,
Let's no.
I was gonna say this is going down a whole.
We are not getting political here. We're
Alabama,
talking about Talking Skritt.
every time.
Oh, I was just more just concerned of this is gonna be like a 5-hour show.
I just feel like North Carolina tries harder to be southern than all the other ones because it's almost not in the South physically.
Though, can I say one positive thing? While I was a lot of stuff that, like I said later on,
That's funny,
what Ixter
though.
did behind the scenes of Talking Skritt, and then I had to take over because I just didn't like what he was
Dildos.
putting us through. But also, kind of the stuff happening with GBN where he was trying to get his own like network thing and was trying to get Talking Skritt to do it, and I was like, nah.
Well, play to win. Yeah, play to win.
But I do have to say, and it was kind of going back to like how Aaron's just like riffing and like saying all this, crazy stuff. That was the one thing I did enjoy about. There was kind of like and we kind of talk about this sometimes, especially when Aaron's on. Is like we had like an after show that was just.
Oh God!
Because after like Jim and like Roy would usually leave, and like me and Aaron were just hanging there while.
Leave. Yeah, they'd be like, "I'm not doing this."
Well. And like then we like closed down the thing, but we would just talk with Ixter about like while he was starting to render the process and stuff like that. But he would also pull up like YouTube video, like music videos, and me and Aaron would just like kind of be like
that was the cringe
like,
hour.
make fun of it, and
we would watch Hulk Hogan do things for like an hour.
So the cringe
let's not
hour.
word it like that because he was in the news about certain things about was he naked?
Oh, is
on
that
the
when his
wrecking
show
ball?
died?
Oh God, I don't know.
Oh,
That probably wasn't the only reason.
So like, okay, so if we're going on to the whole dark secrets of talking,
I like how we were all like, "No, we don't have any answers."
Back there. I thought
we have
That's
like,
question
okay, so
number 3.
like Deo wants to talk about the penetrator.
Wait. When did we stop going from this is not a drunk rant to this is now a drunk rant?
About right here. About
the
right
top.
Here we were on that page. Dale, you got a place to cut.
Dale muted his mic. He's done. He's out.
Look.
And off he goes. See you later, guys.
So the dark history of Talking Skritt for me, like this is still in the creation of Talking Skritt when I would be driving home from my wife's hometown, which is 2.5 hours away from where we live right now, with Mumble on my phone for the guild officers meeting.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I remember those. I remember the car meetings.
And I'd be like, I would never have input because if I gave input to this meeting, I would sound like a pixelated robot.
Yeah. And that's talking in Mumble where we all already sounded like pixelated robots.
Yes. Yeah, that's this is
I said everybody sounded great on mine.
This is all pre-Discord, friends. This is before Discord.
And I will say, out of all this group here, I was the one that found Discord.
I thought Arlie found Discord. Was it you, Roy?
I was the one that turned everybody onto Discord.
Honestly, like
I remember Arlie bringing it up. She was
my darkest secret about Guild War, about Talking Skritt, is the fact that I stumbled into everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I was one of those people who played Guild Wars 2 for the first 2 months and then quit.
Honestly,
and then I played.
Honestly, me too, though. That's my dark secret.
And I played World of Warcraft. I was a World of Warcraft player. I bring it up on Talking Skritt all the time. I played World of Warcraft. I quit in Mists of Pandaria because my guild fell apart. My guild is literally my 10 closest friends. And that was our raid team.
Dude, you're bringing a tear to my eye thinking about Guild Wars 1 now.
I know, right? So our guild fell apart because we were on a PvP server, which was probably our first mistake. But I got into Guild Wars 2 because I know Arlie, one of the regular hosts of Talking Skritt. And she
was a writer for Game Breaker and
now she's a writer for Guild Mag. She was also a moderator on MMO Champion. She is one of the global moderators, which I do not envy her position there because that means she has to moderate the entire.
She has to go into EVE Online for him, yeah.
She has to moderate all forums, man. Like she's like the top level. Like the only person who can overwrite her is the owner of the site at this point.
She's like the Sarah Huckabee Sanders of MMO Champion.
I don't want to put that much work on her because
that's true. That was insulting, Arlie. I take it back. I apologize.
Because seriously, BB is not Trump. Oh my God! No, I'm
MMO
not.
Champion. I take it back.
Doing?
Stop. So why does your video keep going in and out of focus?
Because I keep moving forward and back, and I talk with my hands a lot, so my camera doesn't know what to focus on.
He's got one of them there fancy cameras.
My camera was a gift from my wife because she wanted me to have a 1080p camera for the podcast.
You have the C922 Pro.
I honestly don't know what it is right now because my eyes are too out of focus to be able to read it.
That's the one I have. I was just wondering if we're buddies.
But
I've got the. I don't know. I was looking at mine. It's not working.
Look, y'all derailed me, and I can't even remember.
I don't know what I have anymore. It's a 1080p.
My dark secret that I stumbled into it is Arlie was like, "You're not playing WoW anymore? Well, we've got this Guild Wars 2 guild. Come play with us." And that was when me and my wife joined back into the GBN guild in the middle of thank you, dear. Right before Nightmare Tower in season 1, which was a hell of a lot of fun. Pour one out for missable content, which
pour one out for that trailer, though.
Oh my God, I know. I will lament content that you can miss. Like season 1, as much as I hate missing content, I miss the fact that it's gone. But I'll get into
we'll never. We've had many debates about this on old Talking Skritt episodes.
I was gonna say,
exactly.
Honestly, this is kind of why I wanted to. Also, when we left GBN and all that stuff, one of my first questions was like, do we want to generalize this stuff? And it kind of took this long to kind of convince everybody else to do like a more generalize the channel. You know, the whole spiel I said before.
Vote to kick Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
But it's like we naturally all talk about games. Like we all have that Guild Wars 2 common thing. But like Roybe's talking about, you know, Elite Dangerous. Aaron, you know, is talking about how everybody else is psychos in every other game. And
Aaron is talking about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Dude, I played the whole thing start to finish. It was amazing. I'm gonna play the second one.
And he's proud of it. It's okay.
No,
dude,
remember, guys, we're releasing
fantastic.
this like kind of around the episode 200, like the first week of December. So, Aaron, you played the second one. How was it? Yeah, it was really great, huh?
You know,
look, let's try to time travel with this.
Okay.
I imagine it was.
But I was saying I'm starting to feel bad because I think Aaron's like 2 or 3 beers in, and we kind of just got through the first viewer question.
And if anybody really wants to know a really good game that's really out there that is nobody talks about is Subnautica.
With your dad's simulator, yeah.
Ooh, no, Subnautica. Yes, no. Go if you haven't played Subnautica, play it.
Isn't that No Man's Sky underwater, but good?
No, it's you just and I won't talk to it. And the thing is, it's kind of like Subnautica is like what was that movie that nobody talked about with this
The Abyss?
No, the other one. No.
Avatar.
Stop
Scorpion King 4.
No.
Okay. Wow, 4? They got to 4?
Dude, there's a straight to
crying
Netflix
game.
Scorpion King.
Nobody would tell anybody what the ending of that movie was. A crying game. And
Look,
Subnautica.
If you don't know about it, then you don't understand. So I'm not going to tell you about it.
So we're not going to. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything other than if you haven't played Subnautica and you consider yourself a gaming person, you're missing out.
A gaming person. I'm a gaming person.
Subnautica, from what I understand, I haven't played it, but from what I understand, is really just a fun game to play.
You basically you're in a crashed submarine and you have to survive. That's all you got.
Okay, Deo, give me the next question because I have to work in the morning.
I was just going to say, you know, Roybe was kind of talking about like a very bad or cringy movie. This is kind of a double transition of, you know, Age actually asked, what Deo pun made you cringe the most so that it's etched into your core being? I mean,
I have an answer.
I would say for me, all of them were great. I don't know, whatever. I
appreciate puns. I don't think there's anything that Deo did that was going to.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. What I'll say is there's nothing memorable, but they're all decent.
Damn, what a savage.
Whoa.
I disagree. Mine isn't a pun, but the most memorable thing that Deo did on the show to me was the gif of you cleaning the Abaddon statue. That's my favorite.
That is still part of the show notes to this day.
Yeah. That's my favorite by far. It's not a pun, but I think it's worthy of mentioning.
The one time I used my green screen.
Wasn't that when they released the Cormier library?
That was the end
so.
of the ones. No, that was the end of the Living Story season. The one before POF, because that was the one in that map.
The Abaddon Reliquary. Yeah.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, right before Path of Fire with the all the temples of ore. Yeah.
Yeah. What a terrible map.
That's not a terrible map. It made a lot of use of the gliders in the
He's just mad because he can't farm in it.
I know you can. There's Orion pearls are great for getting ascended necklaces, and there's a lot of elderwood there.
Look, if y'all want
the back pieces,
why do we have pets or mounts?
Pets.
I don't understand. Why do we have these things?
mounts, honestly, if you didn't have mounts, the Path of Fire maps would be boring as fuck.
That's only because they didn't put waypoints in, though, and they didn't put waypoints in because you have
they didn't put
it's a
waypoints in.
self-defeating system.
They do away with travel and
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so if this is gonna be more Guild Wars 2 centric stuff,
remember he comes from WoW, so he's gonna have a very strong opinion on this.
Honestly,
everybody pick up fights. We're all friends. Remember that.
Look, I know. And see, this is why I like Roy, because he's the in my day guy. Look,
in your day, there were mounts in MMOs. Shut up. No.
Yeah.
Look, Roy's point about mounts is solid. Look, if you had Path of Fire and you created a new character, I want to say that having mounts is even better to creating a new character because you can just go. You don't have to waypoint, because I feel like waypointing and having to stare at loading screens is boring. I would rather just hop on a raptor and run to a place. I think the core Guild Wars 2 maps are better for mounts than the Path of Fire maps are. Honestly, Path of Fire maps probably suffer more from the fact that they expect you to have mounts.
I do just want to add, for people that have submitted questions and are wondering, think of this as more of a Rorschach test of here's the stimulus. Like, we might not answer the question. I will try to ask them.
What question are we on?
Basically, what Deo pun made you cringe the most? So
what Deo pun made me cringe the most? Literally all of them.
Yeah, he still endures them.
Look, for the fact that I am still a current host on Talking Skritt. Aaron probably went to go get more alcohol. Anyway, I am still a current host on Talking Skritt. Every single transition, you can see my face palming, my head desking.
I was gonna say
this is part of my like character on Talking Skritt as the straight man. It's just like every time Deo makes a pun, it's just the face palm.
I was like, yeah, that's probably not my. I don't know if I have a one, but I feel successful when everybody's just like, oh, but they do the but that was good, but that hurt. Like, I'm like,
Deo has yet to force me off of the show with his transition puns. Let's put it that way. That is coming from a person who thinks that puns are the highest form of comedy, but hey.
My character on the show.
I do have a good story to tell.
Oh no.
I was sitting at break with a couple of people, and somebody had come in and said something about D&D, and one girl at the table was like, "Oh, I hate that damn game. I can't stand that damn game. Why do people play that game?" And I just calmly looked at her and said, "You know, you ought to play that game. It's one of the best games in the world." She said, "Why should I play that game?" I said, "Because it builds character."
Oh my God.
Nice.
What a savage. Born a savage.
Get out. Leave this podcast. Oh, wait, you already did.
I already did. You invited me back. Now you get stuck with it.
Wait, I have a question. While I was gone, did you bring up a new viewer question?
No, I
No,
was
this is
basically
still
telling
Deo
them that if they
transitions.
haven't realized yet, this is basically like their questions are like a Rorschach test where we may not even answer the question. It's just what stems from it.
It's
Because
just
that
okay,
very
but
much seems.
it's just to trigger our lunacy. Yeah.
I hate to rush, but my dog only behaves for me outside, and otherwise my wife will be stuck out in the cold. So can we please move on to the next question?
Replace yourself with your wife for the duration.
Yeah,
of
there you
the
go.
podcast.
Have her come over and she can tell us what it's like to be on the other side of this.
Guys, if you've never talked to Jim's wife, she's a dude. She doesn't. Let's just put it this way: she doesn't bullshit.
No,
Dude.
she doesn't. She does not bullshit.
She's one of the most savage people I've ever met.
She is. She truly is. But that would require like Deo saying yes, please, while I take my dog out.
Go for it. I think that's hilarious.
Okay, hold on one second.
It's like
Darling,
behind the scenes. If she wants to. Let's not,
they would like to have you on the podcast as a special guest while I take the dog outside.
If she wants
wait,
to.
guys,
He can't hear
guys.
this.
Guys, I just had a really horrible thought.
What?
Dale, can you hear the audio of this?
What?
What if he couldn't? What if he couldn't?
Because I've had my mic open and I haven't had my headset on this whole time.
So
But
here,
you can't hear.
So-
have the headphones. I'll take the dog outside.
So what's your question? I'm confused.
What?
You might have a lot of double echoes and stuff going on
No,
the
I haven't heard
Guys, it's
anything,
so
but
titty. She's here.
I pause.
Because I don't have.
She's
I think this is her first. Well, I mean, she's been on a lot in the sense of grabbing Malthanis' face, but
Is it your first like in the chair
I think
experience?
so.
on The show.
I use the chair when I do voiceovers, but never like on screen. Like,
Damn.
So
We were
what's
just-
it like to deal with Jim while he's doing this?
what is that like?
Jim's voice projects really, really loud. So even when I have my headset on and the volume way, way up, I can still hear him.
That's why you can always give comments on the show during the show.
Yeah, because I can always hear everything.
Here's the thing. I love those.
No,
Those
I
are
do
like
too. I
their
think
own-
it's.
Those are like their own segment on Talking Skritt when she's like, by the way.
Yeah, she's like the unofficial fifth person because it's like
I'm
the crowd.
a person. Sure.
Can we now say it's like filmed in front of a live studio? Well, I guess it always is, but
Sort of, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's your live studio audience.
I'm here. You have your dogs, I suppose, that bark.
Wait, Deo, what was the question that we had before? Dark secrets about Talking
Oh,
Skritt?
the one I brought
Okay,
up
so
of like,
tell us some of James's dark secrets.
What are Jim's
Wow.
dark secrets about Talking Skritt?
yeah. What does he say afterwards about like I hate that Deo guy?
No, Jim's too pure. He doesn't hate anybody.
So
He
he's
is.
passed some kind of purity test. Okay, we know that.
Even when
I'm
I
a mean
try to hate
person.
people.
He's nice. Jim's nice to everybody.
Funny thing. Before you, literally right before you came on, I was talking about what a savage you are.
Uh-oh.
'Cause I remember from back when we used to play Guild Wars 2 and we'd be in Mumble or Discord or whatever, and you would just roast people. Like,
I did?
yeah, no, but you just the blunt directness.
Aaron did good drugs in his childhood.
Here's the thing.
Too.
Half of the time it was me.
I
Half
don't know
of
if
the
it's blunt
it
directness
was me.
or just me being really, really bad at like tiptoeing around shit.
No, half
kind
the
of-
time, like I would say, like, because fun fact, guys, when I joined GBN, I was 19 years old, right?
Yeah,
So
you're
how-
a baby.
Yeah,
Yep,
half
was.
the time I was being like a dick most of the time, right? And she
I
would
think
call
you
me
were still
out.
trying to figure out the internet. That's how I always looked at it. Like you were trying to test the waters. So
You just
Yeah.
came off as that person that there was really no point in trying to like get you to simmer down. So it was just shut up, Aaron.
Yes, dude, and she would do it. She would do it, and she was the person who would be like, dude, what are you doing?
I like that. Aaron just pushed everybody's buttons. It would make me laugh hysterically.
It's very embarrassing at this
was
point.
this all before you guys were officers? Because I feel like I blocked all this out. Where I'm just like, this is probably like, oh, I'm gonna have to have a conversation with someone.
Well, dude, the number of times we'd be at our officer meeting, and Deo would be like, all right, guys, so we got to talk about the swearing again.
I don't remember any of
and,
that.
I, and I would be like, listen, I know.
I was never a Guild Wars officer. I was
No.
League officer with GBN when it was still a thing. I think one of the first meetings I was in was right after Diablo Reaper of Souls came out, and one of the officers was playing while we were in the meeting. So every time he key in, all you hear is like tap 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 of the keyboard.
That's Diablo. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Diablo recently. I get it. I understand. But it's not.
I want to say it goes to show that all the people that came through via the channel Guild Wars 2 either became officers or went on to other games and been officers. Look, Guild Wars 2 fosters leaders. Can't say that about the other games that were there.
Dude sounds like Cartman right now.
And then. You're on the cat ears.
Dale, you need to get one of those e-girl headsets with the cat ears.
Oh God.
And then get yourself a DX racer chair. All in hot pink.
Say a friend of mine has a pair of those, and the mic just died on her.
Here's the thing: I would honestly wear one. I would wear one.
There you go, Aaron. Make an Amazon wish list and put it on your stream like everybody else does.
Oh my God!
Buy me this thing.
You want to start roasting e-beggar streamers? Oh, it's always a good time.
I'm up in here about, like, I don't know, having a wish list. It's like will help me keep providing entertainment, or give me this thing because I want it, kind of stuff.
I'll put it on there. No one's gonna buy it. Maybe if I wear the cute cat ears, though.
Aaron's like, I need like a 4K jacuzzi. Yeah, if you want to.
Wait, can you back up? 4K jacuzzi? How does that work?
I'm assuming a jacuzzi that costs $4,000. That's what I meant.
I thought you meant not 4K like a resolution.
I just want an image of a 4K jacuzzi.
He wants a jacuzzi with a 1080 on it.
The floor is a monitor.
Ti? Dude, I want the 2080 Ti jacuzzi. I want to be able to see those ripples, my friend.
In 60 frames per second.
Yes, dude, that water needs to be flowing at 60 FPS.
I went to 120 and I can't go back now. I'm not one of those people, but I barely notice any. I can, as long as it's not like 10 frames a second, I probably don't notice, but I'm a horrible person.
I'm not a frame rate elitist. I'll play a game at 30, but I won't lie to you guys.
It hurts at 20.
I like 60.
Oh, yeah.
It hurts at 20. I was playing No Man's Sky. I didn't realize they had 2025.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know about you guys. I'm going to do myself a disservice and buy Fallout 76.
I know you were going back and forth about that. You were.
She's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I've heard it doesn't run over 25. Even
on what?
Even on Monster Systems, it doesn't run over 25.
Wow. Bethesda, what are you doing? Well, part of the problem is it's going to be live online, right? So it's a real MMO. So your MMO part of it's going to be, limited by what your internet speed is.
I haven't bought it yet. Please talk me out of it.
Don't do it. It sucks.
It does.
Do you know how buggy it's going to be when it comes out? It's going to be
Aaron, there was
a broken game.
I'll say, Aaron, there was a bug. There was a bug that because they told people when you're in the client, don't click on the buttons because there's currently a bug that we're trying to work out that will uninstall the game and you have to then re-download a 50 gig.
If you click one thing, I remember. Yeah,
because they weren't sure what button did it. Apparently, it could have been any, but they were literally like, "Yeah, if you're in the game, don't click any of the buttons." Like, huh?
Oh, dude, does Jim have a Dishonored shirt on?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's pretty cool. It's a cool shirt, actually.
What is it?
Dishonored.
Though at this point, I guess Taz.
That's a good game. Bethesda published it, but they didn't actually make it.
So. Oh, they don't make it? Okay.
Yeah,
let's see. Now, what I was going to say is, with the problem you've got is look at Red Dead Redemption 2 when it came out.
Publish it. They don't need mods for it.
But with Red Dead Redemption 2, they have horses literally getting burned up by walking on the ground, and that's not Bethesda.
Well,
Bethesda worse.
Yeah, Bethesda, dude. Well, they frame rate locked a multiplayer game, so if you unlock your frame rate, you literally move faster than other players. It's insanity.
Wow.
It's insanity.
That's awesome. Okay,
well, I was gonna say, ultimately, I guess, Taz, my question is,
and they tied the speed of the game to the CPU, and then frame locked it. That's awesome.
I was gonna say my question, I guess, Taz, is I'm probably gonna ask people if they want want something fully unedited, if they want this fully unedited, which I think that'll be a mistake on their part. But are you okay with being in the?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right.
Sign it. Verbally sign a release.
I exist.
Zip file.
Cool. I'm gonna give the headset back to Jim though. So I'm gonna
She's
go
like,
play
"Get me
Tetris.
outta
Get
here."
that game.
Thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
for tolerating.
What are you playing?
Get the Tetris effect. It is
Tetris
goddamn
Effect.
great.
It just
Oh, okay. All right.
it's really
Enjoy
good.
Tetris.
Yeah, it's very fun. I'm remembering the good old days of the Game Boy Brick right now.
Oh, I miss it. Damn. Dude, you're talking about the Game Boy though.
Once again, see, this is what I wanted with GBN, and also moving the Talking Skritt to more general stuff is gamers, just not Guild Wars 2 gamers.
Here's the
People
thing, Dale.
playing
If you
games.
had a general gaming podcast, it would just be this.
Were you polite to my wife?
Next question.
I brought up all the time she roasted me in Mumble.
She told us what it's like to live with you.
Look, okay, living with me, it's pretty basic. Look, my primary motivation in life is being lazy.
Well, that's pretty much what she said. It looked like a cat that laid around did nothing most of the time.
Look,
Verbatim. Yeah.
I will do things if it makes my life easier.
Well, that's
And-
you did say you'd push stuff off the counter once in a while.
That's true. Yes. Okay, so what's the next question?
Well, I think the next question is a very important one. From
Oh, no.
Zlint, asking Silky Sand. Question mark?
Yes.
What?
Okay, so the Silky
Silky
Sand meme.
Sand.
The Silky Sand meme on the Talking Skritt podcast.
That was your
right?
fault. That was
I
your
think it
fault.
was.
Yes.
So when Silver Waste came out, Silver Waste being a living
He
legend,
lived in Silverways.
He
Yeah.
still lives
He
in
still
Silver.
does.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he still does.
Silver Waste came out in October or November of 2014, I want to say. And I discovered it around December of 2014.
Yeah, because you were going to school or something at the time. You were a little late coming to that.
Yeah. And so fun fact, Silver Waste made me quit school. It's not true. But
Arena,
it
put
was
that
my-
on the box.
And I'm glad
Yeah.
you've admitted your problem.
yeah. And within 2 months of discovering Silver Waste, I made my first 2 legendaries in Guild Wars.
Yes.
And I talked about it a lot on the show. And people got tired of hearing about Silver Waste. And our viewers, Lint, who's a lad on Twitch, came up with the Silky Sand meme. And now we have a Silky Sand meme because that's
Oh,
a
yeah.
drop.
The silkiest of sand.
Yeah, the very silkiest. But yeah, you get a crap load of silky sand drops in Silver Waste, and that's why that's the thing, because I made
He's right
a
there.
lot of Silver Waste runs.
16 hours a day, right there, silky sand.
I did.
Well, he's moved on to
That's
other.
the-
He's moved on to
track.
harder farms now.
I mean, no, I've really only moved on to Istan, which is
Look.
more brain dead, actually.
Look, I want to say, just putting that right out there right now. The Silver Waste is the best place to test PvE builds.
Because
You
the
have-
monsters are actually difficult.
That, and you have 4 different forts that have specific mechanic requirements in order to test your build.
I've played maybe 1,000 hours of Silver Waste. What are the mechanical
He
differences?
looks like a he looks like a demon.
Look,
Back up.
red,
Back off your
red requires Condi.
Oh, the bosses!
Yes, the bosses, you dip.
I thought you meant the defense events. I was like, you're different.
No, the defend events are just
the best.
survive trash.
Oh my god, dude, Deo, dude, you gotta put that out. You gotta cut that out and send it to the internet.
I didn't know, dude.
Just
I'm sure the internet
eyeball
will.
up to the camera.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you did look pretty sinister. Like you had like it was,
Well, dude, I
there was a
get
red hue. You are the you are like that cliche like devil in the suit
very
guy.
serious about Silver Waste. I get very serious.
He doesn't
Look,
have a problem, folks. He doesn't.
The bosses of Silver Waste, like literally just doing a fort in Silver Waste is to test your build against trash. The bosses in Silver, and there goes Dale.
Oh, he had to leave. Okay.
Okay, the reins are off. Let's talk about anything. Okay,
So, Eve
Hey,
Online.
did you hear that Elite Dangerous has a new update coming out this year? And
Is it the EVE Online update?
May
Wait, Elite Dangerous gets updates?
yeah,
Lol.
all the time. We've gotten 4 big ones this year.
I don't own it.
That's more than Guild Wars 2, dude. Y'all are
Hey,
fucking
listen,
wrong.
we're getting 2 new ships. They've gone in and they ripped out mining and redid mining completely.
Look, I'm gonna say this right now. Deo said this would be about an hour when we started, but
That's over. That's done with. That's out the window. We've trashed that idea. We've trashed it.
So in general, Silver Waste is great for testing your build. Go farm Silver Waste if you need to test a new build.
I mean, the game even plunks you there when you're a new player and you hit that level 80 boost. So
Yeah, if you use your level 80 boost, that's where they put you. So like clearly
it must be good, right?
The ArenaNet devs thinks it's a great place to farm to test a new build too.
Obviously, it must be good.
Okay. Hopefully that answers your question of Silky Sand.
Anyway, Silky Sam, guys, this is Lynn. Congratulations.
Yeah.
A fedora tip to you, Lynn, on the meme.
Oh God. Also, a question. We had 2 questions submitted by Anthony Ragucci, the Gooch that has been on like Vote to Kick and also Talking Skritt here.
the Gooch is not the same one from Trump.
No.
This is the good one.
He is not. He is not a measurement of time. Anthony Ragucci is a fantastic person who just really, really, really likes the DC cinematic universe.
Which his first question was, "What do you guys really think of Batman versus Superman?"
Pending.
I still stand by my thing. It was great to nap to, and the credits are amazing.
I just want to say, Martha.
I have a controversial opinion. I think Ben Affleck is a good Batman.
I agree.
Honestly,
with that. Everything I've seen of Batfleck is good.
Yeah,
I would say honestly, I think the Gooch is going to. That sounded wrong on the internet. I think Anthony Ragucci is going to love you for that because I think he loves Batman versus Superman. So
well, because here's my thing. So when Batfleck, I'm not a superhero nerd, by the way, but when Batfleck,
well, now he doesn't love you.
Yeah, but when Batfleck got casted, everybody pooped themselves, right?
Yes, because they thought he would be terrible because Daredevil.
Well, and here's what my thought process was in justifying this. Okay, what is Batman? Batman is
an orphan that's messed in the head.
Batman is a rich white man. All right. Now, what is Ben Affleck?
Where are we going with this?
Ben Affleck is a rich white man. Ben Affleck is already Batman. He's already Batman.
Wow. Okay. Let's pause and go to his second question, please. Thank you.
And he did have a more serious one related to the thing, but he asked, "How have you evolved the show since its inception, both behind the scenes and in the front?" I mean,
we haven't.
I'll let Dave.
Well, I was gonna say it's kind of funny that we started as audio, went to video, ditched audio, and now we're actually, because people wanted it, brought audio, I guess technically back. But
dude, can we get serious for a second?
Wait, Aaron. You're not drunk, right? You're fine, right?
This
I'm
show,
not drunk, but
this show has gone from a SoundCloud audio production to becoming the literal, and I'm not even joking, guys. This is the best produced Guild Wars 2 talk show on the internet. That's all.
Also, we have an ASMR segment.
I would say, Aaron, I don't know if it's the alcohol, but I might have blacked out. Did I offer to like pay you money for that, or because I really don't think that.
No, to be honest, guys, out of all, and for the record, guys, I like the other Guild Wars 2 podcasts that are out there. I check them out. But what
is he really going to try to make this argument?
What Deo does with
with
like the overlay swap and the video and the like the pictures and like the production's out of the park. It's out of the park.
I would have to like, I don't know if it was a directly credit to, but probably trying to better the show was because of like how Gary preferred higher quality stuff. That was probably my attempt to do that, but so I guess that was kind of an iteration.
I thought we weren't going to name him, man.
I named him before and I'm drunk, so whoops.
Okay, fair point.
Well,
there's a lot of Garys out there.
There are many Garys.
Now, if I said Ganon was my favorite character in Zelda,
No, you haven't set them together though. So we have a Zelda character, and we have someone named Gary. For the record, guys.
Seriously, anybody could probably figure it out if I said Game Breaker. I mean,
That's fair.
For the record, dude, Gary Gann was a fantastic podcast host.
Why'd you say his names together?
I felt like he had a different vision for the community shows than the community did. That's all. That's all, guys.
I have no ill feelings towards Gary or anything like that. I love Game Breaker. I still do.
You're on the podcast too.
Like us to do
I would like to let the audience know that there's a reason I did not fill my drink a second time. Third time.
Fill your drink
right now.
You just needed a bigger cup, so it was only the first.
right.
I like how Deo is drinking alcohol out of a fucking thermos.
There's a 30-ounce glass.
That's why I said you need a bigger cup. I only had one drink so far.
Look, this is 100% why he thinks he can drink during the show and not worry about it.
Well, so now he has to. It's become he has to drink during the show.
I doubt that. We're not that bad. Look, we're not throwing up dildos on the screen during the middle of the show.
You try hosting a show for a game that you haven't played in a year.
Wait, hey.
Hey, plays the game.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Warframe. Wait a minute.
People want to make a Warframe podcast. God, it's just find the time. But anyway, I honestly, I do not play it a lot. It's mostly when Living Story stuff comes out. So basically every 2 or so months.
Look, Deo plays
on request
when he hopes that Abaddon comes back.
Oh my God.
Okay,
yeah.
Look, if Abaddon comes back, this will literally be the only game he plays.
Here's the thing.
It's the only instance I'll play. Well, go ahead.
I'm just being a doorknob at this point, but
when is that different from any other time?
So back in the GBN days, Deo used to be 5,000 achievement points ahead of me. I have now passed him by about 2,000 points. That's how little Deo plays Guild Wars 2.
Well, to be fair, I've never been an achievement hunter type person, but yeah, I also would tend to be like, oh, I need, there's something to do. I will go after achievements.
Here's the thing.
At this point, I do the stuff, and then I just kind of.
Who's left actively playing this game now that we've been doing the show for so long?
I play it to stream it. I like streaming WW and PvP. I haven't played PvE in a while.
But you're not on the show anymore, Aaron. Shut the. You made your choice. Now lie in it.
I was on episode 170, wasn't I?
Yeah, you were.
I actually play PvE. I actually enjoy PvE. The Roller Beetle is amazing. I just wish there was more maps made for the Roller Beetle.
But Jim, you have the docks at Sandswept Isles. That's all you need.
No, dude, I need. Look, no, I need.
They made it for the Beetle.
I need more Initial D memes in my Guild Wars 2. Okay.
I perpetuate that the Roller Beetle is the worst mount, and it doesn't have a place in the game.
You shut your face.
Is this an episode of Talking Skritt? Have we just transitioned into an actual Guild Wars 2 discussion?
It feels
like we need to stop. Deo, next question.
Yeah, get us off of Guild Wars 2.
Well, I mean, does anybody have any other answers to how we evolved the show from its inception? I mean,
rambling.
Dude, let's get into it though. It did start as a SoundCloud audio production, guys.
I used to read off the WW results.
God, we were talking about this before we started recording.
At the beginning of each episode. At the beginning of each episode, I used to be like, all right, guys, so this
here's
week,
the weather forecast.
Blackgate won again. I used to do that for every server matchup at the beginning of each episode.
He did. Because he was our WW guy. It was like a fucking weather forecast.
They were like, Aaron, you're like rank 84, right? You're the WW guy. And I was like, okay.
By the way, 84 is still higher than my WW rank.
And we used to do that and that was on SoundCloud, right? So that was a disaster.
That was back during Moving On, wasn't it?
I don't even think that SoundCloud was Moving On. And then we transitioned. So we've rebranded this show 3 times.
Yep, this would be the 3rd time. And I guess technically, if you say we generalize the channel, I mean, because we then went to MAAD Realms. But the show is still Talking Skritt, so don't get mad. It's still Guild Wars 2.
Deo's like, for the love of piss, do not blow up my comment section. That's what I do. Whenever I'm on the show, the comments dude, actually, let me read you this comment.
Oh no!
Most recent episodes I was on. Comment poll from episode 140. I was going to meme this earlier, but it didn't really fit in. That's why I have it pulled up. Comment poll from episode 140. Aaron continues to be toxic. Surprises me that he still plays the game. That pretty much sums up the comment section. Whenever I'm on Talking Skritt.
I mean, I know early on that was a thing where, and it stemmed like that we sometimes wouldn't talk to one another because we would talk about the stuff over the week and then kind of get that like debate out of the way, and then like we would have a show where it's like, well, here's the idea, and then it's like you'd be like, yeah, I agree, and I'm like, no, you didn't agree before. Start like being like
you
freaking angry.
You'd be like, listen, I'm just tired at this point.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, dude. Since I started streaming, the number of times I've gotten out debated by Twitch chat is embarrassing.
He sucks. Okay, as a person, okay, so vote to kick Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. # shameless plug. Twitch.tv/MAAD 2 A's in the MAAD. I'm not. I regret nothing there. I will hop on. I go to the gym after I stream on Wednesdays. I come back. I render the video. I upload it to YouTube. I hop into Aaron's channel on Wednesday nights because he's West Coast. I'm East Coast US. And the number of times where he's just like, yeah, you're right, chat. Just
no, dude, they've worn me down at this point. They've worn me down.
Yeah, no,
like
they
wears down a wood nub.
It is legitimate Stockholm syndrome. He just will agree to anything that his Twitch chat hammers him with.
Here's when it happened. It happened this one night when we were having this giant debate about legendary armor. I was like, guys, legendary armor should not be tied to rating. And chat was like, get good though. And they eventually wore me down to, yeah, I need to get good. Holy shit. They really did.
And then they put it in World v. World.
Raids. Oh, let's not get into raids with Roy here because we need to get to we have another 3 questions at least.
We
don't want to be here until 12 a.m.
But dude, really quick on the evolution of the show.
I'm off tomorrow.
It was
to work in the morning.
Like a quick timeline. We were moving on SoundCloud, then tinfoil and table flips on Twitch and YouTube for 10 episodes.
Yeah,
yes.
Something like that.
And Talking Skritt on YouTube. It's a pun on talking shit, if you guys didn't know that.
We finally, after 200 episodes, we finally revealed the joke.
If you didn't get that, you needed to. All right, so that's what that is. And then
I feel like Aaron, did you suggest that? Because it feels like you've been bottling it up for 200. Like, guys, if you haven't realized the joke that was there, like you need to know now.
That was a suggestion by me on that Google Doc. If anyone wants to remember.
Oh, do we still have that Google Doc? I wonder what the other like.
Well, I had 2 suggestions on that Google Doc. One was Talking Skritt, and the other was Skritt Happens. And I was happy with either.
I just want to say that every time Aaron has a hot take, he goes into ASMR mode. I think that would be a 100% better addition to your stream.
We actually did it. We did it once.
Get one of those $2,000 mics that have ears on them.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so it sounds like my voice is like drilling like an earwig into your ear canal.
Please don't do that. That would be terrifying.
3 months. We had Fallout 4 ASMR where I read one. You know how that whole game is just like letters on a computer screen.
Pretty much, yeah.
We did a whole computer screen section at ASMR, and it was.
Well, the one thing that's missing from Fallout 4 is Liam Neeson, because Fallout 3 had 100% more Liam Neeson.
I feel like Liam Neeson is missing from my life, honestly.
This podcast is just a complete mess.
So anyway, I feel like we went through a short timeline of the evolution of the show. Yeah. Also, the production evolved. We used to be SoundCloud, then we used to be just 4-box video with the occasional picture, and then we switched producers to Deo. And then we were 4-box video with the occasional picture. And then Dale was like, guys, I'm knocking it up. Like I'm kicking it up a notch, you know? And then you did the overlay thing. So like it's
by the way, Deo is a fantastic producer, being the main host and producer of the show.
You're just trying to make it so I don't leave here now for another 200 episodes.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I want to keep you around because, like I said, fantastic devil's advocate and also really good producer. So I kind of want you to stay around so I don't have to do things.
I can barely figure out.
There's the truth. There's the truth.
I can barely figure out a static stream for just like me and a webcam. That's almost too much for me. For like all the swapping you do.
Like a lot of my stream resources came from Deo, so
yeah, he's the OBS guru.
Meanwhile, Roy's over here like I don't know what these guys are doing.
Roy, do you have fiber internet over there yet?
He doesn't have a camera.
I don't. I've got a tin can and a wire. I fucking pipe sunlight in here.
You know what's worse than that? Like at least you don't have the option. We have fiber internet here. My building is not viable for it.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. The best I can get. I just paid to upgrade my internet here. I paid for a second line to the house, so I could get 4 megabits per second.
Oh okay. No!
I fucking pipe sunlight in here.
I am dead.
I'm just imagining a little piped hole in the wall with just like.
I am so sorry. Holy shit!
You have a sluice gate that you open to turn the light on.
All of my condolences. Deo, please throw us the next question so I don't die.
Say, you're talking about how bad that was and debating that. Our other question asked, what was one of the best and worst news things you've talked about or debated about, good, bad, or ugly? And that was from Angelica, Kit the Traveler. So
I have one for this, but I have to go get a drink.
Oh no. Okay, so I'll take off with this. 100% worst thing was the Jessica Price controversy.
I was gonna say, yeah, for me the worst news things to talk about is when it goes into actual society type things, like if it gets political, or like in that case, and that was the one thing I was thinking of, was the Jessica Price thing of like basically the social justice warrior stuff and all that stuff, both sides, and it's like we try to keep this as best as possible to a kind of focusing on.
I'll tell you what the worst one was, because we did not allow ourselves to talk about it, was Gamergate.
Oh God, yes. No, let's not even go into that right now.
And we did not. We decided that we would not even talk about that at the time.
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. Wouldn't talk about it. I don't even think we talk about it right now.
Talk about it now, but that's that. If you want to know what the worst one was we ever had to deal with, that was it.
Yeah. No. That 100% eclipses what I said.
Took a hard pass.
I just know for me, it's in those situations that take it to that level that's kind of outside the realm of Guild Wars 2, because people watch podcasts for kind of same reason for gaming, like possibly escapism, or it's like everybody else is talking about this subject, why are you, like, it's like you're supposed to be just Guild Wars 2, where it's like, we would try to, like, for example, the Jessica Price thing, to the extent of what it relates to of Guild Wars 2, whether you're on the side of Jessica Price or the other side or whatever, it's just all that stuff. But
I'm glad I did that countdown properly from when Aaron put his earbuds back in, because he has no idea what we were talking about.
Talking about all those times where I was arguing for something that didn't make any sense, and you guys were just trying to explain to me why. And even though I understood I'd lost the argument, I still argued anyway.
Such a stubborn child.
You were arguing for, you actually won. So we've got raids, we've got mounts, we've got all that stuff you were asking for. We got.
Here's the thing: I did ask for raids back in the day. A, knowing full well I wouldn't play them, and B, that's come true. I don't play them, and I support them. And I argued against them with Malthanis on Vote to Kick, and I don't even believe that. I actually like raids, dude.
I swear, the number of times people on Vote to Kick have been arguing counter to what they actually believe, myself included. Oh my God, the first episode of Vote to Kick.
I think that's what's fun about it, though.
I was trying to argue 4 loot boxes against Arlie.
Well, I
was trying to argue 4 loot boxes
behind the scenes
against the game's journalist.
Well, a little behind the scenes, because I set up all of, like, the assets and stuff, and I was like, well, you pick the topic. When you said loot boxes, I was kind of like, are you sure you want that to be, like, your first, like, dip into, like, you're basically, instead of dipping your toe into the pool, you freaking died, like
Look,
cannonballed in.
Waterboarded yourself.
It was topical. It was hot on the heels of EA fucking everything up. I just had to go for it.
It definitely was, but I was like, you are fighting an uphill battle. But luckily, we kind of changed, a little behind the scenes of people can now pick what's like. At least the guests can pick what side they want.
I give my guests the choice of keep or kick for vote.
Dude, I think that's fun about the show, though, being like, hey, you want to argue something you don't believe at all? Like, that's kind of like that makes it more interesting to me.
Well, yeah, and I was actually kind of proud of it. Goes back to I think
it's Deo's idea.
He made the comment of the one I was on most recently about. Should games scrap like kind of the solo play versus the, to be fair, I lost. I mean, where the heck were all you people? Or should they focus more on group content? And I think QD said like, oh, Deo made a lot of good points. A lot of that stuff, it like going back to what Jim was saying, like I tend to play devil's advocate. I am mostly a solo player. I can respect the group play and all that stuff, but I am very much tend to be a solo player. Maybe because some people don't want to play with me, age.
Lol.
And other people.
But Deo, you're always the guy that when we're talking about games, Deo's always the guy that's like, it's more fun when you play it with your friends.
It is, and then no one wants to play with me. They're like, oh, that's a great idea. I'll go play with my friends. And I'm like, what about me? Where are you? Okay, bye.
Okay, in the sense of trying to keep somewhat on track, because we are now 1 hour and 40 minutes into this podcast, and I have to go to work in the morning. What question are we on?
Basically, what was the one best and worst news you talked or debated about, good, bad, or ugly?
I do have one for this.
So I said it was the Jessica Price controversy. Roy B said it was Gamergate, which none of us, like, we 100% agreed to completely skip.
I think Roy brought that up by himself.
Like, Roy just said, no, we're not talking about this. And all the rest of us were like, yeah, no, you've got a good point.
Fun fact, I've skipped every Guild Wars 2 related piece of content related to the JP thing.
Yeah,
I've never listened to any of it, including your talk. I apologize, but I did skip past your talk. I understand that you guys had to talk about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's like, that's the elephant in the room, but I totally understand people avoiding it.
I have a lolcow for this one, though. My most memorable lost debate on this show. Grab this here.
Uh-oh.
Is the Grady Lighthouse.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Do any of you guys remember the episode in which we debated the Grady Lighthouse?
No, I'm very confused right now.
The rebuilding of Lion's Arch, man.
So let me tell you. So I was being pig-headed on this episode, and let me just set the record straight. First of all, Arlie destroyed me on this argument, as she has done on many.
She's a really good debater. Yeah,
Arlie has eviscerated me on so many occasions. It's actually embarrassing. She's a fantastic person, but holy crap, she's good at arguing.
I kind of feel bad for Age. You called him a psychopath, but you're like building up Arlie. I mean,
the number of times that Age and Aaron have been on the same podcast are actually very minimal.
Here's the thing, though. Age, like Arlie will like lead me in and then destroy me, right? Age will just like
before you get there, he'll be like, no,
like right away. I'll say like something dumb, and Age will be like, actually, facts, that's not true.
It's because he's Canadian. He's too polite.
Yeah,
Arlie sets the trap. She's like, oh yeah,
Arlie, she'll get me in with like questions, and
he's
just
like, dig that hole
into a hole, and then she'll fill the hole in. She's a savage, guys. She's an absolute savage. But the Grady Lighthouse, fun fact, guys, when they did the LA rework in 2016,
after the best piece of content to hit Lion's Arch.
2015, because I wasn't on the show. I left the show in 2015.
Yep.
2015. They renamed the lighthouse in Lion's Arch, and they had a voting poll. What's your name? One of them was stupid. The other one was Phoenix Roost, and the other one was Grady Lighthouse. So it came down to Phoenix Roost and Grady Lighthouse, right? I was like, well, LA kind of got destroyed and it kind of got like rebuilt. So I went for that, like, hey, Phoenix Roost. That kind of makes sense.
I think I was on your side with that as well.
But in the actual event, this was back in 2013, right? I didn't remember this.
In the actual event, there was a complete lad named Grady, who NPC, who like his event was to escort survivors out of the lighthouse to a safe zone, and he died doing that, right?
Yeah, because I think it was to escort him and like his daughter and some other
So now as hearing that story, you're like, well, obviously you name it Grady Lighthouse, right? The dude's a lad. I forgot about this. I did not remember that this happened. So I walk into this podcast like Grady Lighthouse. That's the dumbest thing I've heard in my life.
Despite the number of times he farmed that event, he forgot that Grady existed.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're farming, you ain't listening to dialogue. It's like, yeah, let the people out. Come on.
I am legitimately logging into the game right now to just confirm the name of the lighthouse.
I hope Arlie listens to this so that she knows I'm finally ceding this argument. But,
finally.
And I argued
that was
like
season 1.
And Arlie's whole thing on this was like, but he died. And I was like,
oh my God.
I started pulling like a Donald Trump. I was like, but who's Grady anyway? Who even is this guy? Does anybody know who Grady is?
Oh,
and
no.
Even Twitch chat was like, dude, they should probably name it Grady Lighthouse, though. He was and I just kept digging the hole on this episode of Talking Skritt. And yeah, that's why I remember that one, because I thoroughly lost that argument, and I was butthurt about it for a long time. And then I realized, hey, that should probably be the Grady Lighthouse.
Aaron, by the way,
even though that name doesn't sound very good,
it should be the Grady.
Bruv, it's named Phoenix Roost.
Oh, is it? I think we did the show before the poll came through.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's 100% named Phoenix Roost. But I do remember.
I didn't keep track of who won the poll.
I'm sitting here. I'm in game. I'm mousing.
He lost the argument, but he won the poll.
He lost the argument, but he won the poll. Yes.
A true Trump.
I was thinking about, should I say that?
This is my Donald Trump episode of Talking Skritt, everybody.
So he's butthurt over the fact that he won. I just want to make sure we got that.
So yeah, I'm kind of confused. Was this your best or worst? Because you did win.
I won in the poll, but I got destroyed in the debate. Let's put it that way.
The answer is yes. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Well,
basically,
moving
the story of that episode of Talking Skritt is the story of the Trump presidential campaign.
Well, I mean, yeah, we kind of focused on our worst, but yeah, what was our best things to talk or debate about?
Best thing to talk about, I want to say it I remember the gigantic lore debates leading up to Heart of Thorns, because the second we just devolved into anything about lore, there's still a dissertation that Deo wrote about Raza from Guild Wars 1 being the first revenant tied to the Talking Skritt show notes. Ladies and gentlemen.
Guys, we really don't delete things from
No, we don't ever delete it. Roy hasn't been on the show in years. There is still a GIF at the top of the show notes of, I can't remember the scientist's name, doing like a mind blown GIF.
Well, I think that's supposed to be Steve Jobs, but it's a actor guy or whatever.
It's a comedian. Yeah,
it's a YouTuber.
Like Roy put a GIF at the top of the show notes years ago, months before he left the show, and it's still there.
Here's the thing: I still think of that GIF as a new addition to the show notes.
I'll say, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Exactly.
Best things, though, honestly, I would just like Jim said, Heart of Thorns.
Oh, by the way, it's GIF, not GIF.
You shut up.
I mean, you can be wrong.
My wife is not a graphical designer. Thank you. She is a graphical designer. She has many thoughts on this. Don't make me bring her back onto the show.
Jim, are you slagging off every person named George in the world?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing right now? Are you saying George doesn't matter? Hashtag George.
Hey, my brother's name is George, and I'd have to refute that.
I'm just saying, like, my favorite things that we would get into on the podcast were the Abaddon lore rabbit holes.
That was my favorite.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I guess this is kind of boring that it's like almost leading to the same stuff. Is like some of the best debates and stuff.
She's here to fight.
Kind of.
You're fighting.
You did tell us how your voice carried.
Quotidian, I'm a gift person. Please spare me.
Yeah, it was Royby that said it.
It was Roy. I like how he just went silent. He was like,
I get hung out to
it.
dry whenever I see how this goes. This is why I left on.
I do remember a debate that Royby and I had in.
Wait, Malthanis is saying.
Wait, what's Malthanis saying?
What? Now you're muted. Oh, okay.
Oh, they're talking about gifts like in the sanctity of marriage, so we don't get to hear that. I do remember, like going back to the last question, though. I do remember a debate Royby and I had on the very first episode we ever put on YouTube, which was the third canonical episode of the show, where we were talking. I don't remember what exactly it was about, but it was about gold farming or something like that. And Roy was saying that like doing stuff just for gold ruins it. And I was like, but gold is gold. It was just such a pointless debate. Like it was such a pointless debate. And that's like the number of times I would just get in a pointless debates with people on this show.
Aaron, I thought that was the whole point of your stream.
My stream is fundamentally brain dead, right? So
that's why I tune into it when I'm rendering a video.
You're just gonna have to tell me what things you want me to cut out afterwards, because I don't know if I can make the judgment calls on all this.
Oh, dude, it's all in. I mean, I assume you're gonna beep. I assume you're gonna beep all the like flagrant.
No.
Actually,
I'm pretty sure this is all. I'm pretty sure
we've been doing 200 episodes. Have you seen me? Have you noticed how I don't edit them?
Deo doesn't blip anything, yo. Like, have you heard my rants on PvP? Just yesterday's episode, I got so heated about the fact that they're dropping a
weeks ago.
I think I said this to Jim.
Technically, weeks ago.
I think I said this to Jim on one of the episodes of Zero to Hero I was recently on. But I actually listen to the PvP parts now because I play. Before I would, I'm not gonna lie, dude, I would tune out. I would tune out for the Age Malthanis PvP hour.
Yeah, but now you play PvP, so now you have to listen.
Now I'm like, wait,
as host, I would never do that. I'm not like listening to the little things. Just be like, can I make a transition off of that?
I'm not gonna lie to you, Jim. I mean, I'm being honest right now. I'm sure you make great points when you bring up World of Warcraft, but I don't listen.
That's fine. Look, the only reason I bring up other games is in comparison to Guild Wars 2. Like, I had this gigantic goddamn rant yesterday about, episode 197, because this is not going to come out the day after episode 197.
Yeah, because by now we have build templates.
Don't promise things you can't deliver, Deo.
And alliances.
But I'm not promising. It's this episode 200 just released, and they just talked about build templates.
Wait, Elite Dangerous has builds for mining?
Guilds.
Oh, guilds. I thought you meant like, oh, I've got a trucking build.
Look, but we have builds too. Yeah, no, that's something altogether different.
Look, I am 100% sure Elite has a lot of the things that we want in Guild Wars 2 because of the simple fact that, like, hey, I'm going to hop into this ship that is.
But you see, what they have things that you don't want in Elite. In Guild Wars 2 either. They don't have loot boxes. They don't have gambling. Well, they do have gambling.
What a savage.
But but also
topical savage.
I'm sure there are things that Elite Dangerous want that Guild Wars 2 has, like a player base.
He's controlling us with segues. Oh my god. We've gone that far off the rails.
Okay, look, I legit have to go to work in the morning, and I would like to go.
I'm legitimately off. It's okay.
Jim, it is 8:53 p.m. All right.
Yes, it is.
But I had to do math for that.
I just know he's 3 hours ahead. It's easy.
Okay. You still had to do math. It wasn't hard math. But I mean, this is kind of the last question. But
wait a minute, wait. You guys are in the same time zone I am. It's 8:53 here. What do y'all do? Relax.
I'm not complaining.
I'm 5:53 over here, dude. I'm about to stream in 2 hours.
How is it so dark behind you?
Dude, because
those are panels.
He's in Seattle. He's north.
Those aren't windows. Those aren't windows.
Teo said those are panels.
This is okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the mess that Talking Skritt used to be.
Wait,
Roy, did you think these were windows?
No, I was just trying to fuck with people. It worked.
See,
Those are panels.
When I said Roy was the old guy, he is also the old guy that likes to fuck with us.
Yeah, no, he's got like he knows how to needle people on a level that all
He does. He has so much more experience in talk. He's in accounting. He's in the banking business, people.
Nope, I'm not. I'm back at Walmart doing shelves.
Well, you used to be in the banking business.
I was just gonna say you're in banking. I did not know that.
Anyway.
He knows how to screw with.
Roy,
actually, scratch that. You're at Walmart. You know doubly how to screw with people.
Roy, don't you have a biochemistry degree?
I've got a biology degree and a business degree.
Dude, what a legend! What a legend!
Like
all I do is play games.
This man literally gives no fucks. He wants to screw with people. He enjoys it.
But honestly, I kind of think this goes.
A few years ago, used to tell me that I was the only person in real life that he knew that was chaotic neutral.
I agree with that completely.
No, yeah, I can see chaotic neutral.
You are literally chaotic neutral. I can't think of anybody. Yeah, I would use you as an example for chaotic neutral for the rest of my life. I guarantee.
So shorthand to all this.
And honestly, kind of going back to the question of like, what are some of the best times of debating? It kind of sometimes even like if it's a slow news week or something, I would look forward to pre-show and after show where we kind of directly talk to people and also how we act like this. Like,
yeah.
But,
like certified goofballs, you mean?
Yeah, and like I said, I think it just stems back to what I loved about Game Breaker Nation, what I wanted to hopefully inspire by keeping Talking Skritt alive and all that other stuff is not just Guild Wars 2 players, but gamers, and you always having a place to go when you go game with people that, you know, have similar ideals and stuff like that of just, you know, kind of goofing off like this, where
it's kind of half the reason we generalized from Talking Skritt into MAAD Realms is because how many times do I talk about other games during Talking Skritt?
Enough to make Aaron comment about it a moment ago.
Exactly. Like the number of times I comment about my experience in other games on Talking Skritt in comparison to Guild Wars 2. It's like, this is why we generalize. This is why I do Vote to Kick. This is why we're probably going to do another show eventually, whenever we all have
find time.
Dude,
the time to
dropping the new show announcement on the fucking site.
I am dropping zero announcements.
I'm like, shut up.
I don't have video, so y'all are stuck with this.
Dude, you know what you made me think of though, there, Deo, when you were like, you know, GBN was supposed to be a place for gamers to meet and to all get together and be happy and make days change. Like, do you guys remember a certain lad named Ming Tao?
Oh God, please don't remind me.
So, before we get into
the next question,
I was gonna say I don't think we have any more questions. I hope he doesn't watch the show.
Did you say there was one more?
I don't, unless you guys are seeing one. I don't. I think we've hit all the questions on here. Unless you want to further talk about the.
I'm fairly certain we've given all of the people who asked questions to us far more information than they wanted.
I mean, to be fair, I think we gave them far more information.
None of the information that they wanted.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we gave them the far more information, but somehow not answering any of the questions.
I don't think we answered any of these.
Let's see here. We answered Kit's question. We answered Fenris's question about.
No, we've definitely hit on all the questions. Whether we were just like, oh yeah, that's a thing. Now going back to this thing that just spurred in my head.
Yeah, this is like y'all like we reined it in for the show. We did our damnedest to rein it in for the show, pre-show and after show. Things just get weird, man.
I mean, we failed, but we tried.
I doing this, I love doing this because it's just so real, and I guess, you know, just us just BSing.
It's just dangerous to drink this much on a regular basis.
Well, I was going to say, and I think Aaron said it before the show, and it kind of stems back to how we loved Game Breaker, and they did like a thing like After Dark. Is this something, dear God, if you're insane enough to say it, yes, is this something you would like to see as like a kind of maybe
on a monthly or bi-monthly basis?
I was going to say maybe a monthly basis.
The best.
Winku.
But
you
like
keep
just
your weeby shit out of this.
And not necessarily just these four, but like other, you know, having people and just, I guess
Random
the shit
bullshit
type thing.
streams.
But
Dude, I vote for an After Dark show and just have whoever the hell you want on it.
Mad
just be
Realms
like,
After
listen.
Dark.
Yeah, just be like, guys, listen, you can talk about Saints Row the Third dildo bats on this show.
But yeah, I mean, let me know if you're still listening to this, or just fast forward to the very end to see if they're
you
still
made it
talking.
to the end of this, please God, leave a comment.
If you made it to the end,
We just want to know who made it through the whole thing.
You don't even have to.
I
It doesn't even
commend
have to be substantial. Just be like, I made it. That's all.
Yeah, just leave it a sentence. I made it.
Yeah,
hashtag I survived episode 200 special.
yeah.
Should we make T-shirts?
Yes.
My man,
clearly.
I can do that.
Jo, if you remember the initial meeting in the GBN group about making shows, T-shirts might make some money, dude. And it was all about the
we
money.
might
at
actually
the
be
end,
able to
remember?
buy a Big Mac.
Buy a Big Mac.
See,
Guys, I might be able to go to McDonald's.
as an officer of GBN, I somehow missed all of this. Well, what about the money shit?
You did? Oh, dude.
I think a lot of people were hopeful that it was like, oh, we're all going to become YouTube celebrities, but
Yeah, dude. Well, because Game Breaker had.
I am happy for the 20 or so viewers we have during the show and the 200 or so views we get on YouTube. All of y'all are amazing. I love all of you, even though I don't know your names.
Honestly, it's the small community is where it's at, dude.
Like, I dig y'all.
In all
Y'all are
honesty, I remember
fantastic
someone
people.
way back asking like, "Oh, would you want to do this for like a living?" And honestly, yeah, I would love to talk about video games and hang out with friends and whatnot, and just if it was basically this, yeah, sure. Am I expecting it? No, but some people did have that mindset going into things. But
remember back then though, look at you had what's his name, Total Biscuit, and
Pour one out for TB.
huh?
Yeah, I think
Pour one out for TB.
Pour one out for him. But there's a lot of people back then that were making good money at it, and it was a good way to at least get people's interest in doing.
But they got like
Video
hundreds
stuff.
of thousands of views. We're dude. I say this wasn't like us, but like I'm not gonna name names, but the other
but
folks in GBN were like,
yeah, any way that you could, any way
what are
that
we
you
gonna do with the ad revenue?
Yeah.
It's like, dog, you are getting 82 views on YouTube.
yeah, what are you gonna do with that fraction of a penny?
Yeah, what are you gonna do with that 16 cents? Like,
Look, I'm here for fun. I enjoy every single, like this right here. Like, I remember the heyday, like the original episodes of Talking Skritt or Moving On or Tinfoil and Table Flips. Like, dog, I love this.
By the way, eventually I want to bring back Tinfoil and Table Flips, so that's still our show name. Don't dare freaking take it.
Well, it's kind of
trademark.
that's true. Tinfoil and Table Flips was a Deo.
I'm pretty sure that was Deo's name.
For the record, I like the name Tinfoil and Table Flips.
Well,
just
yeah.
not for Guild Wars 2 specific show.
And I totally recognize that when we, they were like, we just don't get it. But
do you want to do a government conspiracy alien show with me?
Please no, for the love of
I'm in.
God.
I'm in.
I'm out.
I've got all the conspiracies memorized from the.
There, you want to talk about the fluoride in the water?
I would say I'm in once people want me to do a Warframe one. People want me to do a general one. I need this to become a main job just so I can do all these shows that people want me to do.
Is there enough I don't know anything about Warframe. Is there enough things that come to that on like a weekly basis?
Well,
Yes.
when we were talking about it, we were probably going to say every other week because every week would have probably been.
Warframe gets a solid, like Guild Wars 2 gets a solid number of updates every week. Warframe, I want to say every 2 weeks would probably be a good cadence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's why we were thinking every 2 weeks. But now that I'm
and
talking about this, I know that
82
people are going to come out of the woodwork being like, "Oh, so you guys are talking about Warframe?" Like,
Dude, you could finally get Tavik on a show.
That's true.
Dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I've always wanted Tavik on a show. I don't know
he's a
what
man
it
of
is,
mystery.
Look, he's put his voice on stuff. So I don't know if you see the webcam, but I don't know. Maybe
I don't know if he
you
has a
convince
webcam,
Tavik.
but yeah.
Maybe you
No,
could convince Tavik to do a show.
Who knows?
Anyway,
Warframe show.
look,
But
I have
yeah,
to get
we're kind of
going.
like dwindling, but I kind of one little announcement that, like I said, this will be coming out around episode 200. One thing that we want to do with MAAD Realms is kind of do like I wanted to make the joke, but at this point, it it pales in comparison of a bad pun to anything that just happened. But I was gonna jokingly name it MAAD TV of, like MAAD TV. But like I said, that joke basically pales into comparison to anything else. But basically, we wanted to utilize and, like I said, once again, support all the people that, throw their, in our Discord, we have the little promotional thing for anybody that is in there that wants to throw their stuff in. But, like, people that constantly stream and stuff like that, maybe use the hosting feature so it kind of utilizes. So maybe this is like a one-stop shop. You can view some people that, we enjoy watching as well, basically supporting them and, doing that kind of stuff. So hopefully if we get all the kinks worked out with that, this will still be in the podcast, or this, I'm already calling it a podcast. Wait for episode 2. Episode 2 after episode 400 of Talking Skritt. Oh God, that just made me hurt a little bit saying that.
How many episodes now?
Well,
by the time this comes out, 200.
Yeah. But boy, that would be a lot.
Will Guild Wars last 200 more shows?
No, Guild Wars 3 is obviously coming for mobile.
I was gonna say we'll be talking about the mobile game.
ANET Con 2019, Guild Wars 4 mobile, right?
But honestly, stemming from doing this and enjoying it so much, would people want to see this? Maybe not leading into 2 hours. And I don't know how heavily edited this will be. So this naturally lasted 2 hours with, let me say, a pre-show probably an hour and a half.
The level of editing will depend on how much of this Deo can stand to sit through watching back.
Well, my initial idea was to at least put the Twitter questions in there when we asked them, but we barely answered them.
Dude, we should put them in though. Just like ground it. Just
throw them in somewhere.
We answered questions, man.
I do. Yeah. Ben Affleck, great Batman.
Ben Affleck was a great Batman. I will agree with you.
I like how that's the takeaway message from episode 200 of Talking Skritt of, hey, ask us questions about ourselves. Ben Affleck, great Batman.
Dude, he was
You've learned nothing else from Talking Skritt. Ben Affleck, great Batman.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I kind of stopped watching Batman after Penguin was who did the Penguin there. See, and this is why I don't. Yeah, Danny DeVito. After that one, I was done.
He's
in the 90s.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I haven't seen a Batman.
Good night, everybody.
That means he skipped. He skipped the nipples.
Yeah, I haven't watched a single Batman since that one. That was the most awesome one.
You got to watch the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That has so many puns in it.
No, just watch the animated stuff. Don't go to any live action Batman.
No, Arnold Schwarzenegger makes so many bad puns.
Look, no, Batman the animated series and Batman Beyond.
Killed off the dinosaurs. The Ice Age. Come on, it's great. Anyway,
Jesus, stop. End the podcast. Just cut.
Anyway,
right here.
Yeah. Hey, if you like this and probably in a shorter length, let us know. Maybe we'll do once a month. I don't know if we could handle a weekly thing.
It won't be shorter. I guarantee it. It's going to be 2 hours.
I want to see. First, I want to see the edited version of this.
There is no edited version.
Dude, uncut. Upload the cut and uncut version and see which one gets more views, and then that will decide.
Well, I will probably put a poll out, and this will be very dated because I'll probably put it out tomorrow, which would be 3 weeks out. But I'll be like, do you want the full unedited version or? And granted, I will still probably
dude. Put the poll out on Twitter. I will hype the shit out of it.
Okay, and I will still probably edit in no matter what the Twitter questions, but I'm talking about in the sense of cutting out all of this random. I don't even know what I could cut out. Jesus,
I think the technical term is wank. I think that's right.
Yes, it is. But I thank you guys for coming out, and I kind of want to let you guys plug if there's anything you want to plug or anything like that. So. I feel like this is natural. Jim, where can they find you?
I can be found on Twitter at MelFanusMMO. You can also find me here on twitch.tv/MadRealms. That's 2 A's in the MAD. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Vote to Kick, our game show, our game talk show where we talk about whether to keep or kick things in the gaming industry. Following that, we've got Zero to Hero, our Guild Wars 2 ranked or unranked PvP shenanigans. I hope to see you all there. Please show up this week because it's placements.
Well,
and I'm
remember,
going to die.
Please show up 2 weeks ago.
Any weeks ago. just any weeks, please. I need you here because I need to talk to chat.
Wait, are you just saying? Are you trying to like reach out and say that you hate Guild Wars PvP at this point after 2 years of 0 to hero?
Look, I hate Guild Wars 2 PvP without chat. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
I have found that it is very difficult to motivate myself without chat or someone else. Like
I'm the opposite. I can't read chat while I'm playing PvP. I'm like
I can't play PvP while I can't read chat and PvP at the same time. But having the people talk to me like in between matches, I love it.
Yeah, I probably could because I'd probably be dead most of the time.
You got to start farming winter berries between matches.
Fuck no.
Dude, no, it's fulfilling.
All I can tell you is I've had to do that farm and I fucking hate it.
Dude,
I think that is a perfect segue to basically, Aaron, where can you be found if you want to see farming winter berries?
Twitch.tv/GuildWarsMonk, Twitter Guild Wars Monk. I have a Discord, but there's no link. So you can find the Discord link on my Twitter, though. So Twitter, Guild Wars Monk, Twitch, Guild Wars Monk, YouTube, Guild Wars Monk. I make cheeky little compilation videos of me saying naughty words.
The dankest of memes.
He actually edits, unlike me in 200 episodes of Talking Skritt, and probably this.
Believe it or not, dude, and I know this is ridiculous, I watch through 5-hour stream VODs of myself to clip highlights for a 3-minute highlight video. I do that. That's how little of a life I have. So yeah, check out the YouTube Guild Wars Monk. Just Guild Wars Monk on everything, guys. Search it. Find what there's to find.
And Royby, where can they find you?
I've got a Twitter, Roby62, and that's pretty much it right now. I'm not doing anything other than working and trying to find out what's going on with everybody else.
He's too busy in the vast reaches of space.
Right. I'm not going to lie to you. I like playing games with you and Deo, but I can't play No Man's Sky again.
And my thing is, I've been playing the hell out of it since you stopped.
Dude, that's the thing, dude. That one time playing was fun. But thinking about firing it up again makes me need to pour not beer but scotch into this.
Well, that's fine. I drink scotch when I play too. But yeah,
it's how he manages to play.
I don't have anything to say. I find it much more interesting than riding mounts and doing raids. So
Roy's the space guy. He's the space guy. Makes sense.
I did. When I was about your ages is when I started with computer games, and the ones I liked were all the Sims. It was all the flight sims and stuff like that. So that's what I cut my teeth on.
Gotcha.
There you go. And you can find me at simply_Deo on Twitch and Twitter. I've been trying to stream a little bit more, mostly Warframe stuff. And when Guild Wars 2 puts out story content, because Aaron likes to think that I haven't played for like at least the last 4 years, apparently.
Yes.
I see you in Warframe a lot more than I see in Guild Wars 2.
Oh, no, that's most definitely right now, but there's just no story. No, I didn't say that.
Warframe's good, and Guild Wars 2 is terrible.
No.
Well, that's it.
No.
That's it.
You're not in the ArenaNet partner program. I can say that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, for me, I still love Guild Wars 2.
Honestly,
it's just, I also love...
myself, but I do.
Well, like I said, I reiterate, if you guys want to see more stuff like this, definitely let us know. Maybe it'll be a once-a-month thing of like an After Dark type thing, and boy, howdy, is it going to be... Yeah. This was a thing.
Thank you to special guest, my wife, Quo.
Yes.
She was on. Yes. She was on for like 15 minutes.
She waves from the behind the scenes. Truly a behind the scenes episode.
It was a great segment.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming out, and thank you for being around for 200 episodes of Talking Skritt, or whatever it was called early on, and all that stuff.
And now dub scores. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Blackgate 1 against
God.
I'm not doing it, I promise.
Dude, that would have been so funny as to go out if you had that ready to go.
Going back to our roots. Aaron, take it away.
Hell no.
I'm just thinking here. I'm looking at my thing. I'm like, okay, I did hit record.
Oh
right.
If you didn't hit record, we would just shut down the channel. Just
And
No, I
I'm
did,
just
I
really-
did.
I'm just seriously, I'm really concerned because I've been talking with my mic live. I don't have headsets on, so I'm hoping you guys didn't get any feedback through.
I didn't hear any feedback.
I
No,
think
you
it was fine, but we shall find out. But yeah, that is it. We're probably still going to be talking after this because we're horrible at being concise, as you can plainly see.
Concise?
But yeah, take care, everybody.
Everybody watch Thunder in Paradise. It will change your life. That's all I have to say.
I mean, I'm not going to refute that. That is,
And just remember, the cream of the crop.
It rises to the top.
I mean, any other fine thoughts about Randy Savage you want to bring up, Jim?
Listen to his album that came out in what 2003.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, Talking Skritt, we're too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Yeah. Anyway,
Good night,
all right,
everybody.
that's the best way to stop it. Good night.